Okay. Uh, I know there's no audio. Give me a second. I have to change some stuff around. All right. First, we open the can. Okay, and now we. That's loud. What the fudge is the sound that I'm listening to? Okay, that got a lot quieter actually. Maybe I can move it up like here. Okay. Um, I'm not sure why we're here exactly. No, I know why, or I have a general idea why, but this is gonna be a disaster. I have a feeling. Uh, well, hello. I'm here with some getting over it with Bennett Foddy, and you might be asking, "Hey, Sai, where's Steam World Heist?" Ah, good question. Uh, I felt like doing something else. Not because it was like I don't want to play Steam World Heist. No. I do want to finish that game eventually. But I just kind of felt like playing something different. Uh, and since this is a little bit of a different time compared to my previous streams, I figured this would be a good opportunity to start my next "What the hell am I doing" game. Before it was only up, but then I finished that, and now we're doing some getting over it. And then I guess after this, I'll just go back to Jump King because there's still DLC that I need to finish. Uh, I just want to finish other games before going back to Jump King because that game makes me sad. Also, I don't really like. I think I just got bored of Jump King and I wanted to try other stuff. And now we finish only up. So here we are with the next the I wouldn't say the original getting real frustrated game, but getting over it is, this is an iconic game. And I am not ah, I see. So, whenever I watch gameplay of this game, I've always thought this game can't be that hard, right? You just have to like, control the cursor and be very like, you have to move in a very specific way. But now I understand now. I understand why people struggle with this game. I now understand the way the mouse moves. Uh, Generally speaking, is not what I expected. There's a lot more drag than I expected. Like, if I'm like moving the mouse a little bit, like right here, it like barely moves, but if I like flick it like that, it like shoots ahead. So I now understand why people struggle with this game. I've always thought like it doesn't look hard, but surely there has to be some reason why people struggle. And I now know why. uh I now understand why. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, okay. I understand why now. Why this game can get real infuriating, and why this game is as hard as it has, been. Yeah, no. This movement kind of sucks. I see. Yeah, no. I thought maybe if I was godlike, I would be able to beat this game in like one playthrough, but apparently not. Apparently not. This is gonna be a lot bigger of a challenge than I initially expected. So this game is more infuriating to me compared to, or it feels more infuriating to play compared to Only Up and Jump King. And I think the main reason is the way that it controls. This feels bad. This does not feel good. Like, I was barely moving my mouse, and he still, like, fell off from that. So, I think this is mostly just gonna be me getting used to the feeling of playing this. Now I'm considering, should I play this with pad rather than mouse? I understand now. I apologize to all the streamers that I made fun of in my mind for making mistakes in this game. I now understand why they have struggled so. Okay, I could probably just... There you go. Yeah. Okay, so... This is the world we live in, huh? We've moved on from one frustrating game, and now we're on to the next, right? Ah. It might take you an hour to get over that tree, and a lot of people never got past it. Sexy hitchhiking, he says. Yeah, okay. Trying to find a way up and over. And there's a sense of truth in that lack of compromise. Most obstacles in video game worlds are fake. You can be completely... Yeah, I can see how this is gonna go. No, this game is not called... He's talking about another game. Like, he's talking about, like, a game prior to this one. Pie Baker. So. Oh. And then we go all the way around. Yeah, okay. I understand. Yeah, this game is gonna be a lot more infuriating to me compared to Only Up and Jump King ever was. The way the mouse moves and like the way everything or the way that things accelerate is kind of messed up. Like, I didn't even like I don't even know, or I know why I fell there, but I'm still not happy about that. Like in Jump King and in Only Up, every time I fell, it was like, oh yeah, I know exactly why I fell, because I'm a freaking idiot, and I made a very clear mistake. This game is gonna be a lot more on the side of like, oh yeah, I fell because I feel like the controls are just really slippery. And the control is only like technically moving the mouse. Okay, I need to... What's like a good way of doing this? I'm not sure. This is something else. Oh. Oh, it happened again. Keep on trying. Don't let it get to you. Don't worry, it isn't. I'm much more like in the camp of like, rather than the game getting to me, I just know that there's a way to get like consistently good at this game. Wow. I didn't even move my mouse in that direction. Why did it do that? That was like the first time I got up there, the exact same thing happened. And this is the world we live in. Okay. Okay. Yeah, whenever you try and do like slow, precise movements, it feels like you're trying to disarm a bomb, and if you cut the wrong wire or move and like wiggle in a way that, you know, is not desired, it's just gonna frickin' explode. Like, this does not feel comfortable. This feels very bad, to say the very least. This does not feel good. Huh. Okay. I'm not sure how to do this movement properly. Okay. This is... Yep, I now understand. I now understand why this game is so hard. Every time I've seen gameplay of this game, I was like, this can't be that hard, right? But, yeah, no, I understand now. The obstacles in sexy hiking are unyielding. I feel like the main thing, though, is just to take it slow. But even then, like, it feels really easy to like make a really easy mistake. Like even when you're trying to be careful.
I'd have an idea for a new obstacle, and I'd build it, test it, and it would usually turn out to be unreasonably hard.
Okay.
But I couldn't bring myself to make it easier. It already felt like my inability to get past the new obstacle was
How do I set this up? I'm trying to set this up, but he keeps losing strength in his arms. Stop! Frickin' hold the hammer still. You literally only have like one control, my friend.
When you're building a video game world, you're building with ideas.
Oh, frick. Yeah, see right there? Like, I did not move the mouse in any strength whatsoever, and he still flung off to the side. Oh my god. This might be the most frustrated you'll ever see me in any of my streams, I'm not gonna lie. Because I think the thing that frustrates me the most when it comes to playing games has always been, like, control schemes, like, not making any sense. Like, these controls do not make any sense to me. I'm, like, trying to get it. Can I, like, try and drag myself up using the hammer? Like, because this hammer does feel kind of sticky. And I have a feeling, like, similar to, like, the climbing, like, the clean climbing mechanic from Only Up, this is, like, your only saving grace, is the stickiness of the hammer. So, is it possible... Oh, frick. Is it possible to, like, move... Ah, frick. Ah, frick. This is deeply hilarious to me. I would like to point out that as frustrating as this is also very funny. I'm just not sure how to do, like, the right hammer movements to, like, properly hook it on the lights over there. Okay. Okay. And then we go up. Okay. And then we do what? What do we do now, Sai? We get stuck. And then we're an idiot, so we fall back down. But honestly, that was a pretty good start. It's just like two things. Oh, don't do that. Stop doing that. Don't do that. Stop it. I don't like that. Okay. And then we go up. Okay. Good attempt. Good attempt, Mr. Bennett Foddy. Actually, I don't even know if the guy in the chamber pot is Bennett Foddy. I don't like these grunting noises he's making either. I should probably increase the... So, what we're gonna do here is the same that we did with Only Up, which is we're gonna vibe with, like, the general ambiance of this game initially, and then we'll go to the good old background music that we used in prior games. Yeah, it's so hard to make, like, quick, precise movements. It feels like every single movement you try and make is, like, either super slow or super fast, and there's, like, no in between. And, like, the stickiness of the hammer does not feel consistent. Like, see right there? It just felt... Like, right there, it feels like I'm hooking on every, like... piece of gravel that exists. Okay, and then we go up. Ah, frick. I don't think that was a bad attempt. I just need to... Is it possible to, like, skip the first lamp and then, like, try and hook on the second one, maybe? Maybe? Ah, frick. Come on. Come on. Ah, frick. Oh, I almost just flung myself in the other direction. Now, that would be very funny. Huh. Can I? Nope. Oh, that could have been really bad. If that flung me in a really bad angle, that could have set me over the rock on my left. That would also be vaguely hilarious, though. I would like to point out. That would be very funny. Okay. See right there? Oh.
You've done this part before. You know it's possible. Just do what you did the first time.
Yeah, is that simple, right? Oh, yep, that's that right there was exactly what I was afraid of happening. Ooh. Oh, okay. Okay. So okay, I'm kind of getting used to like the kind of movements that this game expects from me. Kind of. Please. Please stick on the metal here. Thank you. The main issue is like trying to do these like fast movements that the game expects me to do here. Stop. Properly hook on the rock. Okay. No. Bad. Get back on the rock. Bad. Stop. Get. Bad. Don't do that. Stop doing that. I don't like when you slide around like that. The fact that this is on a slant and not on solid ground is freaking evil, bro. Okay. Big jump. Okay. Hmm. Again, the movement with the hammer feels so unnatural and this sucks. This freaking sucks. I thought this game would be easier, but it is not. Also, where is all this water coming from this pot that my guy is in? He's like, there's just water constantly pouring out of this pot, and I don't know how much water is left. But surely at some point it'll run out, right? You just heard my sweat, I bet. Honestly, maybe. But like, how does he hydrate himself to, you know, to rehydrate and get like all that back? That doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? Depending on how long I play this game, I'm gonna be at it for a very, very long time. The tears of players, I guess that's fair. Do like players cry on their screen? Is that how that works? On their monitors, and then that's how he gets the hydration necessary. Oh, okay. So this is actually a really good example of how weirdly slippery the controls are. So the hammer is currently stuck against the wall. If I move my mouse up, you can see him strain, and then it automatically places my cursor back where the hammer is. This happens a lot. So like the game is literally fighting you for control of where the hammer's supposed to go. And that's what makes like this part so weird to like control. I think I'm going too slow maybe. Maybe I should be going a little bit faster. But the problem is if I go too fast, I have a feeling I'm just going to lose control of all directions I'm trying to go. And I'll just freaking die. So I can't drag myself up like that. So I have to hook myself up on the lamp. Yeah, okay. It's okay. Trust. Okay, so this can be a pretty scary spot, I can tell. Because it's very easy to fling yourself off. So I wonder if it's possible to just, like, go up from the lamp here. Okay, how much do I trust this hammer? Not a lot, I'm gonna be honest, because this can end very badly. Oh, stop, I don't like that. Okay. This is fine. They added that triangle, that little bit of triangular rock for a reason. Okay.
For years now, people have been
Frick.
predicting that
Oh,
games would
frick.
soon be
I almost just flung myself off.
bought in a store.
That would have been not good.
And for the most part, that hasn't happened because the objects in the stores are trash. I don't mean they look bad or that
I'm trying to be so careful to be like, okay, there you go. I'm trying to be so careful to like not be super stupid.
in a certain context. And once the moment is gone, they transform into garbage. In the context of technology, those moments pass by in seconds.
Okay, be careful with those movements too. Aye. That I have a feeling a lot of players sound like that when they play this game. Ugh. Huh. Ah! You can hear like my mouse slamming against my desk. I don't have enough mouse space for this game. I usually only use my wrist. Actually, you know what'll help? What if I increase my mouse sensitivity? Oh. Okay, that was perhaps too strong for me. Perhaps too much. Even like this feels like a pretty big change overall. Okay.
Over time, we've poured more and more refuse into this vast digital land.
I have a feeling that I want this to be lower. I feel like I was already like losing control a bit.
And untainted and unused. When everything around us is cultural trash, trash becomes the new medium.
I did not move like that.
And you can build culture out of trash. But only trash culture. B games, B movies, B music, B philosophy.
Frick. Because it's slanted down, you have to like be really careful with your movements. Okay, the way this is supposed to work, this is screwed. I think I'm supposed to do it like this. Yeah.
Maybe this is what
there you go.
Culture is. A monstrous mountain of trash, the ash heap of creativity's fountain. A landfill with everything we ever
Oh, well that could have been really bad. Thank goodness that didn't go as badly as it could have. Yeah, I think thus far, just from like playing this like beginning section of Getting Over It, between Getting Over It, Only Up, and Jump King, this is my least favorite one. This is my least favorite one. I do not like how slippery this hammer is. It almost feels like I know this is complete bullcrap because people speedrun this game and there is like obvious strats and like consistency, but it almost feels random. And it's just me complaining. Honestly, this whole stream, I don't even know how long I'm gonna be playing this. This might be the first time I rage quit from playing a game. Although I say that, but I do eventually want to beat this game. Oh, fudge. Well, that could have been not good. This might be the first time I like want to stop. Or actually, no. There have been times where I've played games and I wanted to stop playing them in the past. Okay. Awesome. Great. Huh. Is there something up there, I wonder? Oh, wait, was that something? Maybe not.
There's 3D
Oh,
models of breakfast.
wait.
Gen X's fanfic.
There is something up there.
Magazines, green
Is
screen,
that the
shiny
direction I'm
lights,
supposed to
and
go?
stuff scenes on
Am I supposed to, like, fling
Facebook
myself
spotlight
up?
bots with unbranded adverts and candid shots of Kanye and Taylor Swift mashups, car crash epic failed gifs, Russian dashcam vids, discussions of McRibs, discarded, forgotten, unrecycled, muddled, rotten, untitled.
Ah, frick, that's not how I wanted that to go.
Everything's fresh for about 6 seconds, until some newer thing beckons.
I'm gonna fling myself off. I can feel it. This is gonna end very poorly for me.
Out of style, out of sight.
Oh, whoops. Oh, whoops.
In this context, it's tempting to make friendly content that's gentle, that lets you churn through it but not earn it. Why make something demanding if it just gets piled up in the landfill, filed in with the bland things?
Oh my gosh. These hops, bro. How do I, like, swing it hard enough so that I get the force that I need? Ah, fudge. Am I supposed to hook myself on the book? Going down the road feeling bad. Ah, frick. Oh, there's something over there. I don't know. I don't like trying to make that jump. Maybe this is a shortcut? How do I get, like, the proper speed to do this? Do I literally just have to, like, flick my wrist as hard as I can? Oh, nope. That didn't work. This is so strange. Nope. That was a lot closer, though. I'm getting there. Oh. Alright. And... ah, frick. Usually whenever I play these kind of games, it always, like, starts off with me, like, just playing the game, and then eventually I just start talking about random bullcrap. But this game is taking a lot more brain power than I would like to admit. Okay. Oh boy. Don't send me that way, please. What if that's the right way? What if this entire time I'm being really silly? There's just a random bathtub there. I'm gonna increase my sensitivity again. Maybe I do need more willful power. Higher sensitivity equals more power in this. Is this even possible? Maybe it's not even possible to swing myself up this high. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just wasting my time. I'll just move on. Maybe this is the wrong way, though. Oh boy, stop that. There you go. Ah. Okay. I feel like trying to save yourself is literally about picking a direction of where you want your hammer to go, and just praying that it hooks on something. What the fudge am I hanging on? I don't even know. Ah. 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 Holy crap. Well, that could have been real bad, I must say. Again, this hammer moves in ways I do not like. I do not like how abrupt my movements are sometimes. This kind of sucks. What? 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 You're taking the words right out of my mouth, Bennett Foddy. Again, I don't technically know if it's Bennett Foddy that's in the pot. But, you know. I don't like this slide either. The slide is too it's not angled enough. It's too smooth and rounded. And out here, we don't like smooth and rounded things. Am I supposed to fall here? Oh my. Ah!
No rainbow.
Oh, that's pretty close. That could have been a real bad fall. Let me take a sip of water. Some relief. Gosh freaking dang. This is going to be terrible. Have I only been playing this for like 30 minutes? That's crazy. I feel like it's been like an hour. Okay, maybe not an hour. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. I shouldn't. I'm pretty much just like swinging the hammer around in hopes that it hooks on something useful. You know? In hopes that it'll do something useful. Oh, stop. I don't like that. Stop that. There you go. Okay. Back up here. Stop!
Now is the happiness I had before. That's the deal. C.S. Lewis.
Yeah. You can pull out all these quotes all you want, but that doesn't make me feel any better. Honestly, you piss me off more than you help, sir. I know you're trying to be like, oh, I'm so calm and stuff. Look, listen to all the words of all these smart people about like all these that'll surely make the sting of falling that much easier. But in reality, this game is still very tilting, and I wouldn't be surprised if some people would want to find this Bennett Foddy guy, and introduce him to their fist. Or something along those lines.
I feel within me a peace above all earthly dignities, a still and quiet conscience. William Shakespeare.
William Shakespeare. Oh. I don't even know how that angle even worked. How did I even stay on this grill? I assume this is a grill. This looks like a grill. Okay, close by. Alright, cool. Believe in the stickiness of the hammer. The stickiness of the hammer will guide me to victory or sadness. Maybe perhaps similar to Portal, the cake is a lie.
You cannot now believe that you will ever feel better. But this is not true. You're sure to be happy again. And knowing this, truly believing it, will make you less miserable now. Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, frick. Okay, I'm running out of mouse space again. I don't actually have a lot of mouse space to begin with. So, like, in the first place, this isn't great for me. Oh no, he says. Oh no. That's how I feel, sir. That's how I feel. How do I hang on that? How did I do that the first time? Oh. What? Could I just, like, hang up, like, right here, jump, and then, yeah, okay. Okay. I'm getting general movements down, I guess. Let's not fall. That would be bad. What the fudge happened? I reached out towards the right, but then the guy was just like, nah, I want to reach it out in front and above me. Do I have to like keep flicking it? Why did he move it of his own independent will? I am the player. You cannot fight me For control over the freaking hammer. That was not good. What? 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 Dude, thank goodness for this bit right here. I would be real sad if it didn't exist. Because then the chances of me... I probably would have fallen down that area like 3 times now. Oh, okay. This is fine. I can jump off this. Huh? Whoop. 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 I like the sounds he makes. Before they pissed me off, but now, like, they're very relatable. So I'm down. Ugh. Whoop. 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 You know, what if there's... Is there something up here? Oh, it doesn't look like it's possible to even climb up there. I'm gonna assume not. I'm gonna assume the cardboard is the right way to go. I'm making a lot of assumptions here. Okay, we actually got on it this time. Ow. Okay, that probably must have hurt, actually. My bad. Oh, frick. Wait. Wait, is this a shortcut? I'm probably a fool for thinking that I could still, like, fling myself up. But what if this is like a speedrun strat, huh? You could probably look up whether or not this is a speedrun strat, but I don't know how to get that momentum. The correct momentum to get up there. Clearly I have to, like, I mean, it'll probably make some things a little bit easier if I were to be able to do this relatively consistently. Huh. I didn't even mean to do that. Or I didn't mean to go that far, rather. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I don't believe. Maybe it is doable, but... Try exploring the right. Seems like there's more than one ways to get up. I don't think so. Are you talking about, like, above on this building? You're talking about, like, past the bathtub, right? This is the direction I came from. Yeah, I don't think I can... Yeah, I can't even cling on to that. It's too angled. There's nothing there, unfortunately. Ah! I don't think there's anything there. I think the only way from this perspective is to the left, or maybe that shortcut. I don't know how to get that momentum. Ah! Stop that! Stop fighting me! Give me full control over the hammer, sir. We'll be fine as long as you give me full control of the hammer, okay? Stop. None of this, oh, I want the control of the hammer bullcrap. No, 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 no. I know best. You don't know crap. Or maybe you do. Sorry, that might have been a little harsh.
Do not stand.
Why the fudge does that
I am not there.
happen like that?
Mary Fry.
Why are you like this, man? Why? Why are you like this? Oh. I'm really surprised I actually got around to get on that rake. Mostly just because I fully expected me to screw up at some point. Okay, come on. Big hop. There you go. Good job, sir. There you go. Ah, frick. That was not good. That was not a good jump.
To find some meaning in the suffering. Friedrich Nietzsche.
Okay. Have we reached a point where I should turn on or go back to my old royalty-free music playlists? Is it time for that? Maybe it's time to do that. Yeah, let's do it. It doesn't seem like there's anything particularly interesting going on here. Alright. Back To the drawing board. Playlists. Stream background music. Not that one. We can go back to this, sure. Alright. Perfect. Ooh. There you go. So I do have to like keep dragging it. Oh, I almost just dragged myself off. And that would not have been good. You can really tell I'm being as careful as I possibly can here. Oh, no, 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 don't do that. I don't like that. Come on. Wow. You okay, buddy? You're fine, you're fine. You only just slammed your head into like a literal just piece of metal that's on the thing. Come on. Come on. Be careful. Be careful. Okay. Okay.
When games were new, they wanted a lot.
I assume that I can't just... Yeah, I can't. I have to somehow hook myself on that camera.
Now everyone's turned off by that. They want to burn through it quickly. Quick fix.
Sorry, let me lower the music
For the fickle.
so that we don't have the clashing.
But that's not you. You're an acrobat. You could swallow a baseball bat.
I can? Is that a quote? Or is that just you trying to hype me up? Because it's not really working, I would like to say. Come on, lower yourself down. There you go. Frick. Frick. Okay. Whenever I fall, it's so hard to like try and control where your hammer goes to try and catch yourself. This crap ain't easy. And I would like to apologize to the people who I made fun of thinking that it would be.
Well, some dude with 10 million views does it for you. Like a baby bird being fed chewed up food. Culture too.
Well, I guess technically maybe there are some people watching me play this game, but unfortunately 10 million would be like a dream. 10 million viewers would be a dream. Even like 10 would be pretty cool. Even 5. I'll take 5, honestly. I'll take 5. 5 average viewers every single stream. That would be pretty freaking dope. Uh-oh. Is the hammer stuck? Come on. Come on, buddy. I'm like okay with taking my time here. In all honesty. Because I just need to get to the top one time. Gosh dang it, why does it do that? That's so annoying. You know, I'm curious how this game plays with controller or with pad, you know? Because the game did give me an option. I just wanted to play with mouse because I figured it would be easier. But now a part of me believes that it might be easier to play this game on controller because you have a little bit more control in certain aspects. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Not like this.
Life is a mosaic of pleasure and pain. Grief
Sad.
is an interval between
Well,
two
this is the worst fall. It's fine, honestly.
Peace is the interlude between two wars. You have
Oh boy.
no rose without a thorn. The diligent picker will avoid the pricks and gather the flower. Satya Sai Baba.
Well, I guess you have to do this bit all over again. Do 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 do. Do 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 Come on. Come on. Settle down. You got it. Oh, nope, nope. That was bad. That was not good. That was a really bad jump. But that's okay. Now we're in a position for an even easier jump. Oh, bad, 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 bad. Oh. Oh. I was about to say, ooh, this position's pretty good, and then I screwed it up. That's okay. Hup. 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 No hup that time. Hup. 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 I'm running out of mouse space. This crap is unfair for people who like me who use really high sensitivity. I like high sensitivity, less mouse space. But here I feel like I constantly need to be like swinging my arm around. This crap ain't fair to us low sensitivity mouse users. This is not okay. This is messed up. There we go. There we go. There we go. Whew.
Sorrow is my own yard, where the new grass flames as it has flamed often before, but not with the cold fire.
Oh, stop being so dramatic. You're being way more dramatic than I am, and you're not even playing the game. You think the creator of the game finished a playthrough of this? I know, like, some people, when they make their own games, they're like, they may or may not be like super good at those games that they play. Like, especially when it comes to games like this. Come on. And then, huh. Oh. Oh, oh. Quite literally hanging on a thread there. That's okay. Oh. Yeah, so yeah, actually, so one I think kind of exciting thing, I think I figured out a stream schedule, like a weekly stream schedule that I can stick with, that I could potentially expand on in the future as well, depending on depending on how things go. So I've been liking the kind of earlier streams I've been doing, like at around like 9, 10 a.m. give or take. And I could probably pull those about twice a week. Oh, frick. Well, that was weird. I could probably pull those off like twice a week, give or take. I'm thinking Tuesdays and Fridays. So Tuesday, Friday mornings. And then on Thursdays, I could do 6 p.m. streams. Or like, you know, an hour ago is 6 p.m. for me. Please don't. Thank you. Sorry, buddy. I know that hurt. I know bonking your head there probably hurt quite a bit. Come on. Come on. Oh, no, no, no. Too much. Too much. Too much. Too much. Too much. Too much. I don't like it. How do I do this? How did I do that the first time, dude? So, those are like the 3 streams a week, which is a really good start. 3 streams a week is a really, really good start overall. Depending on how things go, I would like to add more days throughout the week, but I think trying to keep it to like a proper schedule, like a weekly schedule, 3 times a week on the exact same times, exact same days, is a very good start. Very reminiscent of what I used to do anyways, except it's not all the same. Frick. I don't know why. How the heck am I not falling from this position? So yeah, so that's kind of exciting. And we've kind of been already doing it. It's just I wasn't sure if I should do Thursday mornings or evenings, but in terms of like general, oh, that was weird. Ooh, did not like that. Let me check something. Do. I want to try something. I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but I want to try it now while I'm thinking about it. Okay, currently my earbuds are plugged in, but I would like to try it. I'm gonna unplug them and then plug in my controller. Can I even? Wait, maybe this was a mistake. Let me quit and then start up the game again. I might be overthinking things. I might only be able to play this game on mouse. Maybe there is no way to play it on controller. Am I being stupid? Maybe I'm being stupid. Oh, is it with trackpad? Oh. I have a feeling trackpad might actually be easier, which sucks because I'm not. I'm sure it's fine. We'll continue. No controller then. There's no control. I thought for some reason there was like a setting to use your controller for this game, but apparently not. So I guess that was the stop. Oh frick! I have the hiccups. That's not good. I don't like hiccups. I hope it's not like constant. Why? Because I think my hiccups are particularly ugly. I don't get how people can sound cute while they hiccup. I wish I sounded cute while I did hit my hiccups. Instead, I just sound nasally and gross and disgusting, like how I normally sound. Yeah, with the mouse, I feel like with trackpad, oh, that could have been real bad. Oh, that could have been real bad too. That could have been real bad. Huh. 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 Ah, frick. Okay, well, down we go. I expected it to happen eventually. I'm just surprised it didn't happen earlier. Why is there a cup up there anyways? Oh. Oh. Whoop. Whoop. Yeah, so trying to do certain movements is really weird. Hup. 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 And then we relax here. Do a big jump. Okay, maybe that jump was too big actually. Maybe I'm too strong for my own good. So what if instead we tune down the jump a bit? What if we do the jump from down here? Would that make it a bit easier? Ah, there we go. I'm too strong for my own good. You know, there are worse problems to have. There are indeed worse problems to have. The question is, who put that cut up there because you hit it off earlier? Did I? I wasn't even paying attention. Maybe there is. Maybe the ghost of Bennett Foddy is here. Whoever. I still don't know who that is. I don't know if I'm playing Bennett Foddy or the person that's talking is Bennett Foddy. I guess it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Huh. Oh, I almost knocked myself off the rock. I don't want to knock myself off the rock because I want to make it onto the metal. Oh my gosh. Why is this piece of metal so darn slippery all of a sudden? It was not this slippery earlier when I was trying to climb it. The rock is not nearly as slippery as anything else. Oh, wow. Oh, frick. I was like, oh, wow, I actually did that really easily. And then I fell. Gosh dang it. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have almost reached the hour mark of the stream. And look at our progress. Basically nothing at all. Basically nothing at all. Incredible. Fantastic. Much wow. Everyone, please applaud. For it seems that I truly am a master of this game. Oh. That. Oh. Thank you. Thank you, game. I don't even know how that happened, but thank you. Pup, 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 pup. Pup, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Ah, frick. It got stuck. I don't like that. Whoop. 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 Oh my goodness. Whoop. I like how I've turned into the guy. I'm just whooping the entire time. Whoop. Whoop. Whoops. Oh, maybe the whoop comes from whoops. Like, whoop, whoops, whoops, whoops. Frick. Whoop.
Don't let it get to you. But also, let it get you a little bit.
Why? Ah! Wow, the guy literally just did an ah sound as soon as I did mine. I think he's copying me. I know flattery or like imitation is like the highest form of flattery, but come on, man. Be a little original. Oh my god, this is so much more awkward than it needs to be. Yeah, and then boom. Alright, let's do our usual attempt at trying to get up there. The whoop was too powerful. Also, turn into a song of you saying whoop. Unfortunately, I cannot use music stuff or DAWs very well. I tried, and that crap makes no sense to me. You're gonna have to ask somebody else. or I look to commission somebody to do that for me.
Hate the game. Iced tea.
Iced tea. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of players that play different games that I could probably hate. Oh. Whoop. Ugh. Yeah. Whoop. Whoop. What? That was weird. I pushed, but it didn't let me. That's okay. Surprisingly.
When to the sessions.
Why does he not keep sticking it out in one direction?
I sigh the lack of many a thing I saw.
What a
Old woes
pain.
wail my dear times waste.
I'm actually curious. What's the win rate of this game? Reach the top of the mountain. 9.1% of players have achieved. So 10%, approximately 1 out of 10 players have actually beaten this game. And like the other 9 out of 10 have either bought the game, never tried it, or have tried it and gave up at some point. But I will be a part of that 10%. You can find a room of 10 people and be like, hey, statistically speaking, out of us 10 people, supposedly at least one of us should have beaten Getting Over It. and then it'll be me that raises my hand. It'll be me that'll be like, yeah, that's me. I be getting over it. None of you guys did but me. Unless it's a room full with gamers, in which case probably more than just one person would have already beaten this game. Holy crap. I don't know how I saved that dumb mistake, but I'm very glad that I did. Please. Thank you. Yeah. Believe in the stickiness. Oh, whoa. Whoa. Woo! We're back! We are back. Come on. Come on. Hang in the balance, sir. There we go. Okay. Trying to like recover in this game is probably one of the more awkward things. Like from a bad mistake. Oh. Okay. I don't think there's anything I can... Oh, how? What? Physics? How did that even work? Okay, I'm not complaining. Cause I... Oh, frick. Oh, frick.
Trash is disposable, but maybe it doesn't have to be approachable.
Oh, frick.
What's the feeling like? Are you stressed? I guess you don't hate it. You got this far. Feeling frustrated. It's underrated.
I'm actually not as frustrated as I thought I would be. I think I've reached the point with my experience with this game where I'm just like, I've accepted how... Oh, there's a hole there.
Patience
Oh,
is the foundation of
I fell down the hole.
Make anger your enemy. Harm comes to those who
What's
know
the right way to recover this exactly?
find fault with yourself and not with others.
Oh, the balloon's not actually there. I thought my plan was to recover off of the balloon.
Tokugawa Ieyasu.
Where the fudge am I? Oh. I see. Well, that hole was unfortunate. I like fell down that area thinking, oh, there's something that'll catch me. But no, there was indeed nothing. Oh, please. Please. Don't do this to me. Thank you.
She
Ah,
smiled
frick.
in defeat with unconquerable eyes. Atticus.
She smiled in defeat with unconquerable eyes. Is that like, oh, I may have lost, but I may have lost the battle, but I'll win the war. Whoop. 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 Alright. Stop. Stop. There you go. Okay. So, what to talk about? There's like a point in games like this where constantly like you know, talking about my struggles with the game you know, gets kind of boring because who wants to listen to a complainer? I think it's fine to complain about a game for like maybe like 30 minutes. We've like long like, you know, what got past that, but at the very least I was making progress, so I was finding new things to complain about. Stop. So I think we've reached the point where now I need to actually do streamer things and talk about, you know, other things than just what the fudge I'm doing on screen. So, what to talk about? So my day was pretty good. I woke up, I mowed the lawn, I did some grocery shopping, I checked my ranking for the most recent raid in Nikke. and I'm very happy. I'm very happy to say and to announce that I have hit the top 2% of players in the most recent solo raid. 1.8 top 1.8 players, 1.8% of players. Gosh freaking dang, I'm a nerd, but hey, I'm still proud of it. Is that really all I can talk about? I read some or not even light novels. I read some web novels. I read some manga.
And the world laughs with you. Weep, and you weep alone. For the sad old earth must borrow its mirth, but has trouble enough of its own. Ella Weaver Wilcox.
Who the fudge is Ella Weaver Wilcox? Oh. Well, manga, web novel? What the fudge is the name of the web novel that I read? I don't even know. I'll probably have to like look at the name of it. It's a really cute one though. It's about a character. It's a isekai web novel, but it's very different from like the typical isekai web novels that or I guess isekai stuff in general, because like frick. The main character essentially gets reincarnated. They get gender bent, so they're initially a male character, they turn into a female character, but like they basically reincarnate into, or they get isekai to this world where like the basis of magic and mana is in everyone except for him. So she is basically in a world where she's just weaker, like naturally weaker compared to everyone else, and so they just get stomped by literally like everything, even like the base like mobs, like the trash mobs that everybody else can just beat, like even children can beat. So like everyone's like basically gets bullied, or she gets bullied, because the entire period of time that she's there, she's like being trained up by this adventure guild. They're trying to like train her, but like she clearly can't like do any of the things that they want her to be able to do. So this goes on for like 6 years, where she's essentially getting bullied, knocked down. Whenever like an enemy would like tackle her and she would like get knocked to the ground, everyone would be like, why the heck is she still on the floor when she's literally like dying? Because, you know, while everybody else might have been able to like shrug it off due to like mana and stuff, she doesn't have that. So she's literally in a position of like everyone doesn't understand her struggles, and because of that, like they just get worse and worse. Until one day she like starts fighting like a horned rabbit, gets like wounded in the stomach, and she starts dying because of the wound. And like as she's dying, she like, you know, someone tries to help her, but they're like very reluctant because it's like a waste of space. And they're like, okay, in order to help you, I need to know like how old you are. And they're just like, they like check her status, or quote unquote status in the game, and because of the way the status worked, the status labeled her as like 6 years old, because that's like the amount of how long she's been in this world. And so this person's just like, wait a second, is this person like a child? Like this person's dying, and like we've been bullying this person because they can't kill like this basic mob, but is it possible this person's literally just 6 years old and they just developed like a lot faster compared to like other children, and they just look like an adult? And so it's like this very like weird misunderstanding of like, wait, is this person like a freaking kid? So they use this like weird magic item to resurrect her, to like save her life, but they essentially turn her into like a child. Like it turns their body into the body of a child. So now they're actually physically 6 years old. Maybe not mentally, but in the eyes of the world, she's basically like a kid. And so the entire like novel is like a misunderstanding story of like all these like characters being like trying to pamper her, thinking that she's like, you know, thinking that she's a child, and like the main character being like, oh, I'm not a child, because, like, you know, throughout the past 6 years, I've been living in the wild because I haven't had a place to live, so I know all these survival things, I've been doing all these things, and everyone's, like, completely horrified of what's going on. Like, wait, this child lived out in the woods and was eating, like, bugs? Because they couldn't, like, fish or, like, do anything, they couldn't afford anything else? And, like, they literally lived in, like, a cave that would, like, or, like, a tent? Like, a ruined old tent that, like, is in, like, a really bad condition. So the entire story is literally like her trying to like fix these misunderstandings, but because she's in like another world, she feels like some of the misunderstandings that she has like are because of like culture shock, and all these other characters are trying to like treat her like glass when in reality she doesn't need to be treated like glass. And then they introduce like a bunch of other like kids, like childlike characters, and like they treat her like a kid. It's actually really wholesome. It's very cute.
I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore.
I could probably hear. It's on my phone. My phone's right in front of me.
Yet how they
So.
creep through my fingers to the deep while I weep. While I weep.
Do-do-do.
Oh God.
It's
Can I not
called.
grasp with a tighter clasp?
Nope, that's not it.
Can I not
That's
save
a different one.
From the pitiless wave. Is all that we see or seem but a dream?
Oh, it doesn't even say its name. I actually have to go back.
Edgar Allan Poe.
But actually, if I do this, it's called "I Was Kidnapped by the Strongest Guild," and I think it's called that because this like guild essentially like took her in, used this magic item to turn her into like a kimono mimi child, and now they're like trying to like raise her and pamper like a child, but like they're just constantly horrified by like the the things that the main character considers as like common sense, like, oh yeah, I've lived in the wilds and stuff. Is a girl a cat girl? Yes, she is a cat girl. The main character is a cat girl. It's very cute. At times like a little horrifying to read, but it's very heartwarming, and I've been enjoying reading it quite a bit. It's on the website that I use to read it is a translation website called RAE Translations. RAEI. They do really good translation work in general. A lot of their novels are very well translated, and while a lot of their novels also tend to have a lot of harem stuff, which is like okay, I guess. I still enjoy I still end up reading. Like if I find a good translation site, I try and stick with it, because some translation sites kind of suck. And so I've more recently I've been prioritizing good translation over like, you know, synopsises that like look a lot more interesting. So I've been trying a lot of more like interesting stuff. For some reason, I think Rai has something with really likes their yanderes.
Can I see another
So
and not be in sorrow?
I've been reading a lot of yandere stuff
See another's
too.
grief and not seek for kind relief. William Blake.
Yanderes are okay, I guess. There's like a lot of tropes in a lot of, especially like web novels, because obviously yandere as a trope doesn't really have a name in like Western novels. I mean they kind of exist, but not as prevalent compared to like anime. I don't know. Yanderes are weird. To be fair, romance in general isn't... I mean, I like reading. I did have a romance phase. I'm kind of over my romance phase now. My romance phase was back in like my junior, senior year of college.
In the
Oh
end,
my gosh,
we only
I
regret
actually
the
slipped.
chances we didn't take. Lewis Carroll.
But as a result, because I read a lot of web novels, I translated stuff. You encounter a lot of the dere types, including yandere, tsundere, kudere. If I had to pick one, I think kudere is probably my favorite, because I think it's like the more interesting archetype of a character. Like a character, like, because I think you can make a lot of interesting character background of a character that is cold on the outside but like warm on the inside, which I've heard people describe tsundere the same way, but like I would not describe tsundere as warm on the inside, cold on the outside, because they're not really cold, they're just freaking annoying. You could tell that you could maybe tell I'm not the biggest fan of tsundere. But for me, the problem with tsundere doesn't come with the trope itself. It comes with like how people write the trope. Cause in my mind, when a character has a lot of pride, so the reason I can think of why a character would be tsundere like a character that has that is prickly and is kind of like, you know, pushing people away, but it like when, you know, when they like start getting warm towards people, they like warm up to people, and then they're like a lot more nicer and like cuter and warmer, that kind of stuff. Usually that, in my mind, that has a lot to do with pride. Like a character that doesn't want to like just be nice easily to other characters. Cause you know why? Because I myself am super prideful, and I kind of am like a real life tsundere. I'm gonna be honest. Kind of. The way that I'm prickly is a little bit different, because when I first meet people, I always go to politeness. Like politeness is my go-to. And then it goes to sarcasm and teasing and screw you and all that kind of stuff. But when somebody is like a tsundere, where them being tsun is causing real problems with your relationships, that's like the point where I'm like, okay, you need to try and work on that. I think at some point you need to recognize that perhaps being prickly is no longer just like a charm point and something that you need to actively work on, you know? But a lot of tsundere characters don't do that. A lot of tsundere characters just stay the way they are because, haha, when I get upset at the protagonist and sock them in the face, that's funny, that's comedy. And it's like, yeah, okay. But I also like it when romance, like anime and stuff, get like not just goes over the comedy, like comedic lovey-dovey portions, but also like, you know, real like problems with various characters. It's one of the reasons why I think there's a visual, I've not played many visual novels, but one of the visual novels I played was If My Heart Had Wings, and for the most part, like for example, like the main route with the cover girl, like there's like real like issues lying there, and they talk about it and they work it over, and then like, you know, things improve. And that's what I think is where I enjoy my novels the most. I enjoy reading novels because of character growth and characters. And like when a character has a very clear problem, an issue, and it's causing real issues with their relationships with other characters, then like it feels like that should be something that they should start working on, you know? Or like you see some improvement over time. But a lot of tsundere characters, no, come on, they don't actively look to work on being more dere. Like at most you see them be more dere, not because like they're working on their tsun, but because they start liking the main character more, you know? Harem anime is like novels and anime are a very good example of this, because harems always, the 2000s harems are a very good example of this, because harems are always made up of girls with different colored hair and very cliche stereotypps. You could like point to almost any harem anime and you can pretty much count who's the tsundere, like who is the like dere, who's the dan dere, that kind of stuff. Like it's very easy to tell who's who from that perspective when you actually like look for it. You probably don't have to look for it, like it's something that you just unconsciously expect. Which is why I always prefer, like, when a series does a tsundere properly, heck yeah, I love it. Toradora did it pretty well because Taiga, like, you know, as a character she's flawed, but you know she also grows, like, you know, despite everything. You know, there was I forgot what it's called. I don't even know where I read it on because I read this like years ago, but it was a harem novel. It was only like it was actually pretty enjoyable though. So I'm not gonna explain the whole premise of it because I don't actually remember specifics, but there's a character that was a tsundere. And it was very clear from the very beginning that yeah, she's a tsundere. Like she meets the main character, she's super prickly. She's like socked the main character in the face a couple of times. She like struggles to, like, you know, admit her true feelings on a lot of very different topics. But there was like a clear character arc where the characters, like the main character and like the girl's friends, like talk with her about this, and she's just like, yeah, it's a problem that I have and I'm trying to get over it. Like, and so you can literally see her actively improve over time, like as each chapter goes on and as you see her more and more, that she's clearly trying to show like more like genuine affection, like general and genuine affection, over like immediately going into embarrassment, or instead of whenever she's flustered, she just, like, you know, fires back with something negative and then runs away, you know? Like, she actually grows, and it's really, really good. I actually really like the character development of that character in this novel. And I wish I could tell you what the novel was called, but I can't remember, and I don't even remember what website I read it on. There is another novel. Actually, I just realized, was it? Oh, I think this one's also on Rai, similar with The Strongest Guild Kidnapped Me. I became the villain's hero, or something is what it's called, or something like that. I think I talked about this before as well. Oh frick, I screwed up again. Okay, we're good. But the way, essentially what it is the main character is a villain. Like, in a world of superheroes, the main character is like the strongest villain ever.
Sweet, juicy fruit.
And essentially, the villain dies to a hero, and like the villain's like, oh, like this hero that I'm dying to is like the best hero. Like this hero is like the most heroic hero, because there's like a lot of heroes that do things for fame or for money, but this hero like is an actual hero. And so he's like tells the hero, he essentially tells that hero, I'm glad that you're the one that I die to. Like, I'm glad. And like the hero looks very upset about it as he dies, and then he, you know, goes back in time to before he became a villain. And so he decides, hey, you know what I'm gonna do? I am going to I'm gonna try and not be a villain anymore. I'm gonna try and actually I'm gonna try and actually help people instead of, you know, like becoming a villain again and terrorizing people again. So he looks to like open a restaurant that just gives free food to people who can't afford it. And eventually he comes across a villain that he met in the future but is currently not a villain. And he realizes that this person is very like upset at the world because a lot of terrible things have happened to her. So what he decides to do is he basically takes her in, kind of like he gives her food, he like, you know, becomes her friend, like tries to be nice to her, and she is super prickly. Like she refuses like all and every help. Whenever he offers to like help her, she like spits in his face. Like once he gave her food and like she was like, wow, this food is so good. Like he like feeds her free food and she's like, wow, this food is so good, but like I can't accept like help that easily. So she basically just says, wow, this food sucks, and like hurts his feelings, and he's like, gosh dang, I gotta improve on my food, I guess. But she's super prickly. But like as the two like continue to like interact with one another, like she starts improving over time, kind of like she starts becoming more honest. They go on like a couple of trips with one another, like date, like, you know, what you would call a date and stuff, and it looks like she's improving, but then she doesn't. But then she realized that she actually isn't improving at all, that she like another girl gets involved, this girl being the hero that the main character, like, you know, initially like admired in his original life and who he died to. Like she gets involved with him like in this new life, and like this tsundere girl just becomes so freaking jealous over everything that it's actually such a train wreck. It's actually crazy what happens. And like, oh my god, just thinking about it tilts me. Like every single like bad thing that could possibly happen happens, and it was like watching a train. It was like watching a train wreck. Like you could literally see it coming from a mile, but you just can't look away from it. It was awful. And it was only like at the very end, where like all this bull crap happens, where she finally like tells him and admits to him, like, yeah, like you're the person that, like, you were my hero. Like you're the person that like saved my life and, like, you know, gave me hope, like some hope in humanity. But like, holy crap, it was such a train wreck. Like, and like the way they ended it felt really weird too. Like I wasn't a huge fan with how they ended it either. Like, oh my god, just thinking about it tilts me. I still enjoyed reading it, don't get me wrong, but definitely not something I would like ever recommend somebody to read. That crap like was on another level of like, oh frick, I was trying to recover that, but I couldn't quite do it. Uh-oh. 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 There you go. I was scared that I soft-blocked myself for a second. But yeah, essentially, that was a very long ramble. But essentially, the idea is that tsunderes are fine, but like when you have a very clear like personality flaw, and it's something that you can like work on, but like the characters just aren't working on it because I guess reasons, and like they just keep being tsundere for like, you know, comedic purposes, I guess. I don't know, man. It just it just becomes more annoying when there's like, you know, clear efforts of the character like trying to improve. That's when I like tsunderes. And like over time the dede comes out a lot more because they've improved on their dede, rather than it just being like a general, oh, because I like you, that's why I'm becoming sweeter. But like there's still like a complete a-hole to everybody else still. That's I get it though. I do get it. It's not like a, oh, it's not realistic. No. I get it because I'm very similar to that. I have a lot of pride, and like it's really hard for me to be like naturally nice to people, especially like friends. I'm much more on the I tease the people I like side of things. So frick. Okay. But it is something that I'm actively working on as well. Like it's really hard for me even now to like express to people exactly how I feel and not be as prideful as I am. But I am like trying to stop being so willful and weird.
It cannot recollect when it began, or if there were a day when it was not. It has no future but itself.
But
its infinite realms
yeah,
contain its past, enlightened to perceive new periods of pain. Emily Dickinson.
Yeah, and thus character development. But like a lot of my interests in novels and stuff comes from characters, and like I'm down to read like a bad story if the characters are good. But I'm a lot less willing if it's bad characters in like a good story, you know? I'm a lot more interested in like good characters talking with, like interacting with one another versus a very interesting plot line but with very dull characters. So character development is very big for me. But if like, you know, tsunderes are very how should I say? They're very predictable. You know exactly like how they're gonna react pretty much in most positions, so it makes them very easy to write. Hence why you see them so often, and hence why a lot of them are not written very well. Especially in harem anime. Oh my god. Especially in harem anime. Like, in my opinion, harem is synonymous with comedy. You can almost never watch or read like harem media and take it seriously unless like it's comedic in some way. Like there has to be like a comedy aspect to it that makes it like, you know, enjoyable to watch, because you can't take a harem seriously in the modern day without taking kind of some elements of the rom-com out of it, if that makes sense. Because the instant you take a harem seriously, that becomes drama, like a three-way triangle, that kind of stuff, and it doesn't always. You have to have a very good reason as to like why the characters would settle for, like, for example, polygamy, or like, you know, the characters being okay with sharing somebody for romantic purposes. And I'm telling you right now, it has to be a very darn good reason. And you know, this comes with some very weird tropes, especially with isekai stuff for harems, because a lot of isekais, like the trashy isekai content, media content in general, for some reason they love just throwing women at the main characters, like protagonists and stuff, in a variety of different ways, in a lot of very weird ways too, I would like to say, because in the isekai polygamy exists, therefore it's okay, you know. And I'm just like, that's that's questionable.
Even as the stone of the fruit must break, that its heart may stand in the sun, so must you know pain.
Yeah, I try to ignore those. Yeah.
The daily miracles of your life.
There is, so for example, like, as I said, harem to me always has to be comedy. So if the isekai is fully comedic and like kind of like commits to the bit, then it's great. Or if like the harem commits to the bit, then it's great. So two examples of harem anime, that one of which goes and like fully commits to the whole bit of being a harem as a comedy, and another that takes the harem and almost spins it in a way where it's like more realistic and dramatic and like ugly. So for the comedy, there's the 100 Girlfriends That Really Really Love You. Like, actually a masterclass on harem equals comedy. It is so fun to watch. It's cute at times, it's really fun to watch, but it also knows it's not going to take itself seriously, so they constantly break the fourth wall, they're constantly doing really dumb bits, and it's awesome. I freaking love it. It's so funny. I also know that, like, you know, it's not like for everybody, like, absolutely not, but it is absolutely like the perfect example of harem equals like comedy. Then there's an example of harem being like not so much a comedy, but like taking it almost like to a serious direction. That would be Shuffle. I think Shuffle is a great anime I kind of want to eventually play the visual novel as well. Um, but it is an example of complicated characters getting involved in a very complicated position, with all sorts of stuff happening, and in the end, the protagonists, like, they properly pick a character out of the harem, so it's not like oh, everyone likes the character, so everybody wins with this weird ambiguous ending. But no, like, they actually give it a proper end, and like the characters that are matured, and like some of them are still like, yeah, like, I may have lost, but I still like the protagonist, so I'm gonna keep trying. But like, there's a lot of like stuff and drama that happen in it that makes it feel pretty realistic, even though there's like some comedic moments in it as well. So Shuffle is pretty good, like, as a general harem. Then there's stuff like, Oren, like High School Host Club, like comedy, clear comedy. Again, you take the harem situation seriously, you have to go down the drama route, but you can still make it interesting. But not many do that, and so you just get very shallow characters, shallow positions, and shallow whatever. I think that's like the worst offense of a harem, in my opinion, actually, is shallow characters. You have an opportunity, right, to get a protagonist and up to, like, say 2 or 3 or more, like, girls that the protagonist, or I guess I shouldn't say girls because reverse harems exist, and Oran High School Host Club is still pretty fun to watch. So you get one main character and then you get potential love interests, right? There's a lot of room from that perspective to make interesting characters, right? Like, interesting dynamics between the characters, because, they're going to be actively antagonistic towards one another because, they're all going after the the same person. But at the same time, they can still be like, some of them could still have like proper, like, positive ties with one another. Like, some of them can be friends and stuff, because, life isn't always just because you want X thing and I want this X thing, oh, we have to fight to the death. So I feel like you have a lot of room for, like, decent characterization of characters, and like a lot of different kinds of characters, and like different reasons for like different things. Like, you just have a lot of room for cool stuff in a harem, outside of just the whole romance bit. Like, you can almost take a harem and turn it into like a subplot if you want to, like, go down the route of just having a lot of interesting characters, right? But no, they decide, instead of doing that, let's instead focus on just having a lot of characters that all embody like some sort of cliche, and then that's all they're ever gonna be, and then we just give them like different hair color and stuff. That is a sin. That's messed up. At least try to make the characters somewhat interesting. At least try to, like, do something more with the characters, because you have all these characters, you might as well do something with them. But no, why do that when we could just have like one character that big booba, one character that's flat-chested, that's always upset at the big booba character, one tsundere character that's usually the flat-chested character as well, now that I think about it. You had the idea. Perhaps have I been on this tangent for a really long time? Yeah, but if there's like one thing that I can talk about for like long periods of time, it's oh frick, don't let this happen again, dude. There we go. Saved. As for like other stuff, I don't know. There's always hype stuff too, like, fight scenes and like fantasy. I don't know. I just like reading novels. I like reading web novels, like, specifically. Oh frick! No, I'm sad. Mostly just because like, while I could read like the classics or like read stuff that generally people really enjoy, I like reading web novels and like finding the complete garbage or sifting through the garbage to try and find like somewhat interesting aspects from like novels that nobody will ever talk about or even care about, just because like it's just interesting how different people will write characters, how different people will write certain scenarios. I just think it's interesting.
The pain in knowing this has happened to you. The pain in knowing what more tears we've gained. But through all this, I feel your pain. Octavia Hawkins Richards.
To the point where like I'm also considering buying light novels that are like properly licensed and I can't, read for free. Or I probably could if I found the right websites, but I don't really want to do that. If people like, if they're gonna license stuff like that, and like it would be best if I actually pay for the content that I'm reading. So one day once I like find
I'm crushing your dreams and dashing your hopes. You're climbing a mountain with a hammer and no ropes.
Sorry, the guy's poem just distracted me. What the fudge was I talking about? I completely forgot what my train of thought was. I'm sure it's fine. But yeah, I'll get once I I remember now. Once I yeah, thanks Baker. I got it. Once I find a place to myself, like, because right now I'm living with my parents because rent is too expensive, and I family stuff. But once I move out properly, get like a real job, settle somewhere, I'll probably like actually look to buy light novels and get a collection of physical copies of it, because I don't really want to lug around a bunch of these light novels everywhere. But I had to like find a place to settle first, and that in and of itself is gonna be hard, because I have to find a job, like a proper full-time job that'll pay me enough to live. And depending on where I live, that crap might be pretty freaking expensive. Good thing I don't like big cities, or I might have to live in a big city though. I don't like big cities much because I have a pretty good sense of smell, and sewage, smoke, all that kind of junk I freaking hate. So like the less like sour smelling a city is, the more positive feelings I have towards it. Yeah, exactly. But I might have to live in a larger city because I also hate driving. And it's like, do I hate sour smelling place or living somewhere that smells in some place areas, or would I hate like having to drive everywhere? And I think at that point I would rather take public transportation. Or would I? Having a car is expensive too, but if I could like afford a car, like if I had unlimited money and I could just pick based off of personal preference, I think I would not like to live in a big city. But because money exists, and because I don't like driving, and because cars are expensive, I had to consider lots of things to consider. Do. Come on. There we go. No! I hate this game. I say a lot about a lot of games though. Like I say I hate this game to like almost every game I've ever played. So, whether or not I actually hate it, or this is just a moment of weakness, of tilt. Oh wow. I'm broken. Huh? Whoop. Whoop. Ugh. I'm not gonna lie, while I was having my little web novel, like, tsundere rant, I have no idea what happened during that, like, 30 minutes. I think I got up here, like, once or twice, and I also fell once or twice. I think I fell all the way to the bottom at one point. Oh, frick. Not again. No, not like this. Not like this. No! No!
There is a shape of ancient fear. In darkness,
Sad.
of chaos born amid the lordless heavens.
It's always, I always fall down that hole. Always, without fail, I've fallen down that hole. What a sad, sad life. Gosh dang it. Yeah, that was my rant. What the fudge else do I talk about now? There's not many things that I'm super passionate about that I could talk about for long periods of time, unfortunately. Web novels and like light novels and manga and stuff are like one thing. But at the same time, it's like if I want to gush about something from that perspective, I have to start talking about specifics. Like I have to start talking about like web novels and light novels, specific web novel like titles and like things that happen in them and like why they're interesting or why they suck, you know? And like unfortunately right now there isn't a lot of super interesting things I'm reading that's worth ranting about. Plus, like, you know, if I'm gonna recommend something, I would rather I recommend it and just be like, this is why it's cool, and then move on, and not go like, oh yeah, and then this happens, and that's really cool, but then this happens, and that really upset me, and then this, you know, that's just, you know, spoiler. That's just like me telling spoilers at that point, you know? And that's not okay. So with that said, is there like anything specific that I can talk about that I'm reading recently? Because there's always like stuff that I've read in the past that I've read that I could probably talk about, but because like so much time has passed, oh, that was awkward. Because so much time has passed, it's like really hard to remember some details, and therefore it makes ranting about them really weird because my memory sucks and I might just be spreading false information. Like, I will always tell people one of the first light novels I ever read was Hakomari. What was the full name of it? Utsuru no Hako to Zero no Maria, I think it's called, or something. I don't even know its English name, I'm not gonna lie. But I'll always tell people that's like one of the first light novels I ever read, and my god, it's also one of my favorites, like, of all time. I freaking love Hakomari. But do I remember like stuff that happens in it? No. I do remember that like the first book of the entire series has a lot of stuff that happens, but there's also a lot of spoilers that could end up ruining the first book if anyone decides to actually read it. And so I can't talk about it because I'm scared that the thing that I talk about, like, oh frick, that's not common knowledge. That's something that happens like that's really important. It's a lot better if you were to just read it. So like, that's why I'm always stuck whenever I try to recommend Hakomari to people. It's like, oh yeah, Hakomari is great. Oh yeah, like what's it about? That is a good question, my friend. And unfortunately, I cannot say. Oh, so does that mean it's just really forgettable? No. It's actually really memorable. Like the moments actually makes you so hype and all that crap. But like I can't like I don't know what I can say. Like it's good. My friend, we just mentioned to tell something and let them check it out themselves, mainly because of laziness. I don't know. Whenever I like trying to hype something up, it's very fun hyping something up to somebody. Like someone's like, oh, tell me about it. And I enjoy being like, gladly. I will tell you everything about like my favorite things. Because if you couldn't tell, I'm very good at yapping. And if you can get me to yap about something that I enjoy, oh boy, will I yap. So I actually enjoy doing it. But like for something like Hakomari, I can't. And like other novels too, I literally can't. Yeah, I can't yap. I wanna yap, but I can't yap. And because like a lot of web novels, are people like projecting, or they're just trying to like write something that they want to live. I've read a lot of garbage harems, romance stories, like fantasy stuff. Like I've read it all. I've read a lot of bull crap over the years of when I like joined the web novel market. I've read a lot of bad stuff, but I've also read some really good stuff, like harems that genuinely were pretty fun to watch, and some that were absolutely terrifying and should never see the light of day ever again because they're messed up for a variety of reasons. But like, I don't know, man. I really wish that like there was somebody that I know personally that was as deep in the rabbit hole as I am, because there's some stuff that I would love to talk about, but like I don't want to spoil crap. And some people are like, oh, you can spoil it for me anyways. But I'm like, well, here's the thing, right? If I'm going to talk and yap and rant about something, it's a lot easier to do it to somebody who also has read said thing, because I don't have to explain everything. I don't have to be like, oh yeah, but then like this terrible thing happened, but then like that happened and oh my god, that was awful. Oh, you don't know why that's awful? Oh, well, because of, you know, it just makes yapping a lot harder. I don't need yapping to be more difficult. I want it to be easy. I don't need things to be more difficult than they need to be. All right. Oh frick. Oh frick. Okay, I had to reset. So with that said, let's give you guys a proper recommendation, since I was talking about, you know, giving recommendations and stuff. So I read a lot. I've been reading since like elementary school. I've read a lot of media. I went through my classic phase where I read stuff like The Count of Monte Cristo, Great Expectations, Pride and Prejudice, that kind of stuff. I've had my like fantasy phase where all I read were like fantasy books or like, you know, youth fiction, such as Rick Riordan, that kind of stuff, like Percy Jackson series, and like Ranger's Apprentice, The Spook's Apprentice. I've read a lot of stuff, but I would like to point out that out of all the stuff I've read, like overall, horror has never really scared me as like a genre for books. Part of it is like when I read it, and like even if like the atmosphere is particularly like eerie and like I feel creeped out, it never really got to the point where I felt like super scared at all. Like I would never feel more than just, ooh, that is kind of creepy, and I would just move on and keep reading. Like maybe like ideas or like general like scenarios would be like, or like can be pretty terrifying overall, but generally speaking, I've never really gotten scared or like particularly creeped out from anything I've read. And you might be wondering, hey Sai, weren't you gonna give a recommendation where you mentioned this? Well, because a while back, I would say like 2 years ago, I was looking into novels and stuff that I could read, and I heard that from the grapevine of a web novel called The House of Horrors. It is a Chinese web novel. It is a horror, if you couldn't tell from the name, it is a proper horror-based or horror-focused novel. And from what I could tell, it was a system, like it was a system-based web novel. By system, I mean, like, oh, the main character, like, has a system where, like, they level up the system by doing certain tasks, and then their system gets stronger, that kind of stuff. It is a proper system-based RPG, like, system, world. which was kind of interesting because it was like, okay, so how do you make like a horror-based setting like scary when the character can just like get like clearly get stronger and like, you know, like maybe they beat stuff up and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, would I like to direct you to House of Horrors, the first time I read any piece of media that genuinely creeped me out, like that actually made me think about stuff outside of the confines of the world that they exist in. Well, I guess that's not the best way I could have worded it. By that I mean like that genuinely unsettled me, that affected me like after I finished reading it. Because normally when I read horror, and even if I read something that was kind of scary in the past, like it would creep me out, but as soon as I closed the book, it was like, okay, well, that was that. I guess I'll just move on. But no, House of Horrors was the first time I read something that genuinely creeped me out and stuck with me for like days. And it's not, I haven't even finished reading it. I told you I started reading this back like 2 years ago. This thing has like over 1,000 chapters. I'm on chapter like 800. I've been reading it kind of slowly over the past like few years, but like every once in a while I pick it up. I like remind myself what's going on. And like every single time like I read an arc and I read what the hell is going on, like this series genuinely creeps me out. And it took me a while for it to reach that point, to be fair. Like it's not like the very first thing like hits and then like that in and of itself like was scary. No. It was like a combination of multiple arcs, of multiple like things that the protagonist goes through before it all kind of like acclimated, and I was like, gosh freaking dang, like this stuff is freaking creepy, bro. I might not be like downright scared, but like it stuck with me. So here's the premise of House of Horrors. I've hyped it up enough, and honestly, it's totally possible that you yourself will read it and you'll be like, Cyrus, you're such a wimp. Like this crap ain't anything. And honestly, that's fair. I'll give it to you. Perhaps you would be correct in believing that I am in fact a wimp, because I kind of am. But here's the premise. So main character, what the fudge was his name again? Even though I've been reading it for a while, dude, Chinese names sometimes still take me a while to remember, and I haven't actually talked about House of Horrors in a while. So the protagonist names from House of Horrors to me is never like I will remember this character's name and be able to like tell other people about his name. It was always more about like, it was less about being able to memorize it for the sake of memorizing it, and more so as long as I can like recognize it while reading it, then it's fine. So I don't remember his name. You could probably look it up though, because I'm pretty sure it has a manhwa. Actually, you could also just read the manhwa. I haven't read the manhwa, so I can't tell you whether or not it's like as good as a web novel. But boy, oh boy, is the web novel good enough that I can't see how they screwed up with the manhwa, except for like fan service, I guess. But even then, there's not like a ton of fan service you could insert into the series. So sorry, I got distracted. General premise: the main character, his parents owned a haunted house. And they died, or they disappeared. He doesn't actually know what happened to them. They just one day just straight up disappeared one day. They went on like a business trip and he never saw back from them again, so he assumed they're dead. So he now has to run this haunted house by himself. This is like the main way, his main livelihood. This is his job and like the way that he makes money and like, you know, goes about life and stuff. So he spends a lot of time on the haunted house. The problem is he only has one employee, and the scenarios aren't that scary, and for the most part, the haunted house is not doing super well. Part of it is also that the amusement park that his haunted house is located at also isn't doing super well. So for like the most part, things aren't going super well for him. Until one day, he unlocks a system. And his system essentially basically tells him, hey, there are ghosts ghosts exist and they're real. Ghosts do exist, they're real. And if you would like to, improve your haunted house, here's some options. You could either engage in some simple stuff, like general like ghost circle stuff, or you could try and go for hard scenarios, go to locations with deadly ghosts, try and quote unquote clear these locations, and then you might be able to add something to your haunted house from these locations. Maybe even get the entire location as like a scenario. So the main character is like, oh, interesting. So he starts off doing simple stuff, like, going into his bathroom or in his mirror, saying certain things or doing certain things, and then like random supernatural crap happens. Like he would see somebody in the mirror, like, the general like horror stuff that you would see. Like, it was nothing like super scary. But then eventually he's like given the option to like check out like a murder case where, maybe some stuff actually happened. There's like actual and like essentially it just keeps ramping up from there, right? He starts like, he meets ghosts, he maybe adds a few into his haunted house, he gets whole new scenarios that he adds to his haunted house. And things just keep ramping. It goes from relatively cliche at the beginning in terms of the scenarios to like some genuinely like interesting stuff, like things I've never seen before. And it just kept going and going and going, and like more and more and more kept happening. And eventually some of the stuff that like the main character started going through really made me question like frickin' how insane this man is to willingly go through this just so, he can upgrade his haunted house, maybe help out a few ghosts along the way as well, because, some of them, not all the ghosts that he encounters are malevolent. But like, overall, like, man's a Giga Chad. Almost one of the most Giga Chad protagonists that I can think of, which, is saying something. And just overall, really, really good web novel. Only thing I would point out is if you're not super into like, if you're not at all interested in horror stuff in general, probably don't touch it. Because a lot of the focus of this novel is the horror. And so, if horror's not your cup of tea, then you won't like it. If you don't have the time to read all of it, maybe not pick up, like, honestly, I don't even think you need to read all of it. I think you just need to read like maybe like 50, 100, 200 chapters. Just read like however long until you like get sick of it. Overall, because it is very long. I've been reading for 2 years on and off, and I'm only on chapter like 800 something, and I'm still pretty hooked. Like, overall, like, it does not get boring. It does not reuse scenarios or like general ideas. It does not reuse like any of those stuff. Like, it just keeps growing like on top of one another, and the stakes just keep on increasing, which is fantastic. It's great. It's awesome. I like the characters that are involved. I like how sadistic the main character can get. Like, when like a delinquent or a bully enters his haunted house, he literally like tells the ghosts that he's like recruited, like, hey, mess this guy up. He literally just like goes into sadistic mode. He's like, usually I tell the ghosts to go easy on the guests, because these guys don't know that ghosts exist, and like I have real ghosts and I think so, like, we'll go easy on them, but like for like specific people, he'll just be like, you know what, mess them up. It's very funny at times. It's genuinely kind of creepy at times. The only piece of media that I've ever read that I've genuinely felt unsettled, although I will admit it does take a while before it got to that point for me, because the very beginning of it is like kind of stereotypical, with a little bit of its own spin of like various like horror tropes in general. But it does ramp up. There's a lot of cool neat ideas that I've never seen before. And again, to be fair, I don't engage in horror a ton more recently, so maybe there are some things that are more like generic than then I could give it credit for. But yeah, if it seems interesting, go for it. You just have to find it somewhere, because the website that I read it on, you know, may or may not be attempting to give my computer viruses. Honestly, it's like a greeting. Like, I would open the website up, it's just like, hey, you wanna download X thing? And I'm like, haha, no. And the website's like, haha, we tried. All right, go read House of Horrors. It is a manhwa though, so I don't know how translated or how far along a manhwa is. But you know, if you're not into reading, then there you go. There's like a proper thing with pictures and stuff. I just don't know the difference between the novel and the manhwa, because I personally have not read the manhwa, because I am 800 chapters into the web novel, and I don't want to go all the way back. I kind of just want to finish it, and then once I finish it, I don't even know if it's finished, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if it's like oh, we have a lot of chapters, and like, I think it's done. I'm pretty sure it's like properly done and dusted. Oh, that was interesting movement. Oh. But yeah, that's one recommendation I'll give. Are there other recommendations I could give? Yeah, but like, there aren't many that have stuck with me, okay, let me rephrase that. There are some that have stuck with me, but the problem is there aren't a lot that I can recommend. A lot of novels that I read are like, yeah, I do like it. Like, you know, I enjoy it. They're kind of gimmicky, and some can be like campy, and some of them can be like really not like good objectively, but I've enjoyed it. Hence why I don't want to recommend it. Some of the stuff I've read, I would never recommend, but you know, I still enjoyed reading. Oh, frick. Oh, frick. I'm literally just going down the rungs. This is, not going super well. Oh, okay. Let's reset. What's like an example? Oh, okay. Here's an example of a novel that I absolutely cannot recommend to like anybody, but that I genuinely enjoy. It's almost a guilty pleasure, actually, to the extent that I enjoyed reading this. I should catch up. I remember I caught up, and then I stopped reading it because I caught up, but they probably released a whole bunch of chapters since I caught up. It's called, it was another isekai. It's called, I was summoned to another world, but that world is at peace. It is a harem. Because the main character essentially just encounters a bunch of random characters in this world that is at peace. It is the ultimatum. It is like the web novel to read as a sweet, feels good novel. I'm pretty sure it has a manga as well, actually. I don't know how far the manga is along, but it is the ultimate feels good manga or novel that I've ever read. It is insane. All the characters are so well developed. Like, I don't know how they managed to take this novel and make every single character likable, or like at least like somewhat enjoyable to like read about, but they did, and it's freaking insane. It is like incredibly wholesome and sweet, and like, oh my god, it like hurts my heart. I remember like, and like the community behind it is the same thing. The community behind it, they're all freaking suckers. I love reading the comments for this particular novel. It's just a bunch of people going like, ah, god, we're all dying from diabetes. There's so much freaking sugar in this bullcrap. It is so sweet, but I don't know if I would ever recommend it to people, because it is like the harem of harems. The main character gets all the women, literally all the women, but not like in a Giga Chat. Okay, kind of in a Giga Chat way, but not exactly like that. Just more as like this character is just really sweet and all the other characters are really sweet, and they just like this character. And because it's an isekai, there's like polygamy and all that. And I'm gonna be honest, like the harem aspect of it does, again, harem to me is always like a comedy tag. It's always synonymous to comedy, and it does its comedy very well, and also it's very sweet, and I like a lot of the characters, and there's a lot of character development, and I just really like this novel. I stopped reading it some point in like the 800 900s. I don't remember the exact point I stopped either. I think they were doing like a festival or something. I forgot. Some kind of festival, and I think Best Girl, or in my mind, Best Girl, my favorite character anyways. I really like her. But in my mind, Best Girl was doing like a virtual reality thing towards the main character. Something like that, like at this festival thing. Doesn't really matter. Goated. Such a good novel. I need to catch up on it. There's a lot of chapters, which is awesome, and I really should catch up. Except I don't know when I stopped, so I probably have to start from the beginning, I'm gonna be honest. Which I honestly don't think I would mind that much for that particular novel, just because it's such a feels good, like sugar filled series that I would not mind going back and reading it. I will say though, it can make some people feel pretty depressed because it's so sweet. Because it's literally just like the main character getting along with a bunch of female like characters and dealing with their baggage, and it's cute and sweet. But I can tell, I know some people that would read it and just feel depressed about their own lives. I personally don't give a crap because I am not interested in my own romance. I'm much more interested in other people and reading about it. So I am totally fine with engaging in diabetes, but other people would probably die, you know, as that would make sense, I suppose. I just realized I've not made any progress, have I? I was not really paying attention to my gameplay. I was just kind of moving my mouse around and to like what feels right. And I guess this is where we are at now. And I've not made much progress past the orange, huh? Past the orange, not a lot of progress. And that's kind of depressing. If I cared. You made progress in gushing random about stuff you like, if that counts. Well, that's one thing, but like, maybe not in terms of the game, which is what I should probably be more focused on. But again, I did say that whenever I play these sort of games, for all intents and purposes, this is just my way of doing a just chatting stream, but like doing just chatting without feeling depressed because nobody's here. Because when you're a small indie streamer, and you engage in just chatting, it can be pretty depressing when nobody shows up and you just yap. So I've learned that lesson a long time ago. So hence why I started doing this kind of stuff. I have decided to play very certain games to help keep myself engaged while, you know, being a game that I don't have to like, you know, fully invest my mind and body in. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't care about like winning as much. Like obviously I want to beat this game, right? Very obviously I would like to beat this game, but it's not exactly a priority whenever I stream it. It's more like a thing on the side that you guys can watch. It's like, this is my Subway Surfers, essentially. You know, like shorts and like TikToks and stuff where they have Subway Surfers or like cutting soap. while like they yap about or talk about certain things to like keep the viewer engaged. This is my Subway Surfers. Could I play actual Subway Surfers? Yeah, but I also think that would be very boring because I don't think I really enjoy the gameplay loop of Subway Surfers personally. I've been talking a lot. I should probably take some water. Like, I know what games I like playing. I know what games I enjoy playing. I know generally what games I don't like playing. But there's also a lot of games that I have not played or tried. Hence why streaming has been a very good way for me to try out different games and stuff in different ways. And like, you know, keeps me motivated to keep playing them as well. Which is like big. Because there's quite a few games I've started in the past, but I never actually went around to finishing it. Like, I started Alien Isolation, for example, but I've never finished that game. Yeah, I've never finished Alien Isolation. But, like, streaming keeps me, what's the word? I don't remember the word. It's like, like, it's a reason for me to keep playing stuff, I guess. Like, it's dang, what the fudge was the word? I forgot the word. Accountable. There you go. Oh my god, English is so hard. Not engaged, no. Accountable. That's the word. It keeps me accountable. Like, it gives me a proper reason to keep playing. Like, or to like go back and keep playing. Because like, you know, when I start up stream, it's like, okay, what am I playing today? Well, last time I played this thing, so I might as well just keep playing it until I finish it, right? Because if I'm like trying to play a game in my own time, even if I enjoy it, sometimes I don't finish it. Because of like, oh, like I kind of want to play this instead or whatever. But streaming like actually keeps me accountable. It's like, oh, well, since I started playing this and like the viewers like, you know, watch me start, I suspect that like at the very least I should finish it, right? It's the reason why I've been going back and playing a lot of games that I haven't been able to finish in the past. So like Hollow Knight, for example. Before I streamed, I started playing Hollow Knight. I got kind of far, and then I stopped. So I use streaming as an example to go back to play Hollow Knight. Maybe I'll go back and play Alien Isolation on stream. It didn't really seem like the kind of game that I would enjoy playing, but who knows? Maybe I would enjoy playing it anyways. Again, survival horror is not my favorite genre of games in general. Survival horror has always been a game genre that to me is like, I'm not the big, like, I understand the appeal behind it, but like the appeal of survival horror is not appealing to me. Because from my understanding, the appeal of survival horror is resource management and tension, right? Like having that constant tension while like trying to like manage your resources. Well, I guess technically the resource management bit also can apply to the whole tension bit as well. Like, yeah, like, oh shoot, I'm running out of this thing. There might be an enemy, like I need to make sure I say, like, that kind of thing. Like, it's always a matter of like being anxious and being tense and relief. Like that release of anxiousness once you reach certain points in a survival horror. And then like having that relief like blown away when something else happens. So like I feel like generally that's the appeal of those kind of games, and for me, I just don't like feeling stressed. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Like, in my mind, it's almost like people liking Souls-like games because they're masochists and they just like losing over and over again until they can beat like what they've been losing to, which to me makes a lot more sense, or not more sense. It all makes sense as to why people enjoy playing them. It's less about making sense and more like, to me, like I can relate more to like losing to something over and over and over again until eventually you learn how to beat it and you beat it, you know? I get that. I do not enjoy the constant anxiousness and tension that naturally comes with survival horror. And like horror in general, I guess, and thus it's not my cup of tea. But I do kind of get why people like playing those games. I think it can be pretty cathartic. But I don't know. I'm not a masochist. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm not a masochist, so therefore I don't like you know, getting wrecked over and over again. That does not seem very fun to me. I'm kidding. But like I was not kidding about survival horror not being my cup of tea. Did I still play through Dead Space? Yeah, even though I played Dead Space during a period of time where I knew that I don't like survival horror, but you are a sadist. Maybe, I guess. I have said I am sadistic, or I'm a sadistic piece of crap as a joke. Maybe that's actually true. I don't know. I will say teasing people and watching people struggle is pretty fun. Which, you know, some could say, yeah, no, you're a sadistic piece of crap, Cyrus Apricot. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that's fair. I'm probably more sadistic than masochistic. So you can take that as you wish. There's a lot of layers to this, though, I have a feeling. It's not that simple, perhaps, but... It does not matter, because it's not really something I'm going to dwell on anyways. But whether or not, like, you know, that's a proper reason as to why I do not like survival horror, like, that's just how I feel about it. I still did play through Dead Space, though, as I was about to say, and I did enjoy Dead Space, I would like to point out as well. Dead Space was a pretty fun game overall, and I know some people I know were very happy to know that I played through Dead Space, and, you know, despite my general dislike of survival horror. But for me, Dead Space, I did not enjoy Dead Space because it's a survival horror. I enjoyed Dead Space because of the story and the characters. The gameplay itself was fine. It's fine. There are quite a few moments in the gameplay where I was just like, this is more, you know, eh. I understand why people enjoy playing games like Dead Space, but I did like the story. I liked the characters, especially in Dead Space 1. I think it's why I struggle so much with whether or not I struggled so... I think that's the... Sorry, let me rephrase this. Or let me back this up, rather. I think that's the reason why I struggled so much with whether or not I like Dead Space 1 or Dead Space 2 more. Because Dead Space 1 had better characters, overall, better villain, by far. Dead Space 1's villain was so much better than the main antagonist of Dead Space 2. I didn't even know who the frickin' antagonist of Dead Space 2 was, like, until, like, literally, like, the last 3 chapters of the game, when they're just like, yes, this guy is the antagonist. And I'm like, who? I was literally like, I did not know the guy. Like, the last bit of the last chapter made this big deal of finding the guy, because, like, you literally, like, struggle with him and, like, do, like, a QTE where you mash buttons and you literally, like, slowly point a frickin' gun at his head and then pull the trigger as a rod, like, thrusts itself through his eyes. and they made a big deal out of it, and I assume it was supposed to be like cathartic. But honestly, I much prefer the way they ended the main antagonist in Dead Space 1. Because the way they did it in Dead Space 1, so in a world of Dead Space where necromorphs, which are essentially zombies, exist, and the main antagonist of Dead Space 1 was essentially this cult leader that was like, ah, yes, the zombification is not like bad. Oh, hey, Asu. Thank you for the raid. Frick, I have to do the whole shout out thing. Let's see if this works. Fragpunk? Oh yeah, I think I did see that. What the? I don't know what kind of game it is though. Sup, Cyboy. Hey, Asu. Nice seeing you. I was just talking about Dead Space and how I was unsure which game I like, or between Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2, which Dead Space game. It's a 5v5 Valorant kind of game. The game is so much fun. Interesting. Is it on Steam? if it's on Steam and it's like, you know, oh frick. Well, that's that. What the fudge was that car? Oh, is this all the way back to the bottom? Oh, that's cool. This is actually the first time I'm getting knocked all the way back to the bottom. Dang, Austin, you're a curse on me. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, but it's on closed beta. Aw, okay. I'll just wishlist it then. Fragpunk. Oh! Wait, no. I know this game. Yeah. I already have it on my wish list. Yeah. Yeah, I did see this game. It was the CS:GO like game, but they're like cards, right? And like your team can like vote on various cards, and then like the cards affect how like the rest of the matches are played. Yeah. I remember that. I remember I saw it and I was like, that looks pretty cool. I'm totally down. Yeah. I remember I saw that and I thought that was pretty cool. Oh look, it's the cup. I didn't actually. Oh, and the orange. Wait, they actually spared the assets to drop those. That's very funny. Yeah, I'll look into it. Yeah. I mean, obviously I have to get into the beta, but yeah, I have seen some gameplay of it. It does look pretty cool. Thank you so much for the raid, Asu. Hello. I probably should. Oh yeah, how the fudge do you do the? What the fudge do you say when raiders show up in your chat? Hello. My name is Cyrus Apricot. But most people call me Sai. And if you wish to also call me Sai, you can, as long as you push the follow button. If you do not wish to call me Sai, or if you wish to call me Sai but don't want to follow, well, too bad. Only friends can call me Sai, and only people who push the follow button are people that I consider friends. Did it work? Did the script work? I have this really bad habit of when people raid me and I'm just like, ah, frick, what do I say? Stay if you want to. And then I've had people like tell me, don't stop doing that. Like tell people to follow you or something. And I'm like, ah, frick, you're probably right, but I'm too like mild-mannered for that. So here we are. Yeah, I'm currently playing Only Up. You guys just saw me fall like a couple of minutes ago. I was talking about Dead Space. Yeah. I was talking about Dead Space and how the antagonist of Dead Space 2 freaking sucks compared to Dead Space 1. Like, Dead Space is a game essentially about space zombies, right? We have a bunch of like zombies chasing after you, and like you have to like the antagonist of the game, like it's either a space zombie or a human, right? And so in Dead Space 2, I did not know who the frick the main antagonist was on that game until like the last like 3 freaking chapters. I'm assuming you're talking about original Dead Space, not yeah, I'm not. Well, here's the thing, right? I assume this. I'm talking mostly about the story, and I assume the story of the original Dead Space compared to the remake is like the same, right? I assume that the two are generally speaking the same in terms of like general story, and that the I've heard that the remake like added details, but like not to like its detriments, rather like solely for the purpose of like improving the game and like giving more context to the game like in a positive light. So I don't think what I'm about to say contradicts either the remake or the original. Well, it doesn't contradict the original, but I don't think it goes against the remake either, because again, I don't think there's a major change, but if it did, then yeah, I am talking about the original. But Dead Space 2, I had no idea who the main antagonist of Dead Space 2 was until like the last like chapter or something of the game, and I was like, who? And then I think back and I'm like, are you talking about the guy who's been sending the attack helicopter at you? Because he sends an attack helicopter that hunts you down throughout the game, but the attack helicopter doesn't even hurt you; it helps you. There are two moments in the game where like you're literally about to die and things like terrible things are about to happen to you, and then the attack helicopter shows up and Deus Ex Machinas itself into your life and saves you from these terrible positions. For example, the very okay, not the very first time you see it, but one of the first times you see the attack helicopter is when, okay, slight spoiler alert. There's this lady that's trying to help you at the beginning of the game of Dead. Okay, spoiler alert. Dead Space 2. Cover your ears for like 2 minutes, or mute the stream for like 2 minutes until like actually I don't know, but just mute it for 2 minutes. Essentially, lady says that she's gonna help you at the beginning of Dead Space 2. She's like, I'm gonna lead you to a safe location. You're like, oh, okay, cool. And then you follow her instructions until you meet her, only to realize that in fact she's not there to help you, but rather to use you to do more terrible things. So, okay, technically the spoiler ends, but like as she's about to essentially kidnap you, the attack helicopter shows up, guns the entire room down, sends you out of the airlock, and then puts you somewhere else in the ship, and you're essentially safe. Like, come on, man. Come on. You cannot tell me that attack helicopter did not help you. If it didn't show up, you would just be screwed. The second time it shows up, you're essentially fighting like this big, scary necromorph. You're fighting this big, scary necromorph, and essentially you're playing out this freaking like chase sequence where it's constantly chasing you. You're closing doors behind you. You're shooting its limbs while it's trying to grab you to, like, you know, release its grab on you. And then as you're about to freaking die to it, the attack helicopter shows up, guns the monster down, which attracts its attention. So the monster now chases the attack helicopter, leaving you in space to essentially find a new angle into the area, into the ship again. And then you're okay. And then I assume the attack helicopter died. I guess technically it's not an attack helicopter because you're in space. But you got the idea. It looks like a helicopter. This thing freaking helps you twice. And the guy who's supposedly the main antagonist is the one that sent it to kill you, but it helped you 2 separate times where you would have died otherwise. Which, to me, is kind of freaking ridiculous. Like, why? Meanwhile, in the first game, you are taunted by the main antagonist. He shows up behind the glass in front of you multiple times. He spawns in this freaking invincible necromorph that just runs you down through multiple chapters. And then eventually, when you finally catch up to him, when you finally catch him, he gives you a monologue of how Unitology, the cult that he runs, will essentially be the new humanity, the new upgraded form of humanity, before he purposefully gets himself infected into a necromorph. But here's the cool thing, okay? When you encounter him in his necromorph form, he's not a boss. He's not like a major necromorph enemy. He's literally like a random necromorph that you could find on any single other level, and you just shoot him and he dies. That's it. That's the end of the main antagonist. Like, it's so anticlimactic to the end of him, but at the same time, it like is so much more much more interesting way of having him die, and it makes a lot more sense from like the perspective of his character, and everything, compared to like the dramatic end of the dude that sent the helicopter after you in Dead Space 2. Characters in general, man. Like the overall characters in Dead Space 1 were better. The combat and room layout in Dead Space 2 was better, along with like general. A lot of Dead Space 2 is very similar to Dead Space 1. Like there's still power nodes. You still needed power nodes to like upgrade your gun and your armor and everything else. So overall gameplay is like pretty much the same, but the main difference in terms of combat were enemies and room layouts. And the enemies in Dead Space 2 felt a lot more threatening than Dead Space 1, so it was a lot more interesting going through the room layouts, and the way like the last few chapters played out in Dead Space 2 was a lot more interesting than Dead Space 1. Room layout was a lot better, and like the way they did the combat encounters, because Dead Space 1 had like 2 or 3 bosses, but bosses in Dead Space kind of suck. So they decided in Dead Space 2 to just remove them entirely outside of like the very final boss, who wasn't really a boss. It was just more of like a DPS check of it'll send a bunch of random like bullcrap at you that you had to kill, and then you have to DPS check this random floating like orb thingy in the sky. Which again isn't like super interesting, but it's a lot more interesting than trying to send these huge, large necromorphs with like really boring mechanics. So again, combat and gameplay, Dead Space 2 better. Story and characters, Dead Space 1 better. And I think for the most part, a lot of people really like Dead Space 2 more than Dead Space 1. Not to say that, you know, I'm in the minority is Dead Space 1 enjoyers. At least from what I understand. But like, I don't know which one I prefer. I still don't know. I've been considering it for a very long time. Honestly, I think I like Dead Space 1 more. I think the antagonists, the characters are way more interesting compared to way more interesting than the gameplay was fun in Dead Space 2. Plus, remember, I'm not like a huge fan of survival horror in the first place. So, like, me saying I enjoy the gameplay of Dead Space 2 anyways, or more than Dead Space 1, is like a small upgrade anyways. And the reason why I'm not talking about Dead Space 3 is A, I haven't played it, and B, it's just a completely different game in terms of gameplay from what I've understand. Like, they changed a lot between Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 1, Dead Space 2, and then Dead Space 3 in terms of gameplay. So that's just like a complete. Plus, I heard, like, generally speaking, Dead Space 3 is like the worst Dead Space in the series. So I'll take that with a grain. I'll take it as it is until I eventually play it myself, which might be sooner than you guys might think. Because I am planning. Once I finish SteamWorld Heist 2, which is gonna be eventually within the next like 2 or 3 weeks. Eventually, I'm gonna have to start up a new game. And right now, the idea is I just played Dave the Diver, and now I'm playing SteamWorld Heist, which are 2 RPG, like, very slow games. So I should play something faster, like something a little bit with more excitement overall, right? So either the options for me right now are either Halo 1, and then we start playing through the campaigns of the Halo series. Wolfenstein, because I recently just got Wolfenstein New Order on sale for like $4. Or so Halo, Wolfenstein, or Dead Space 3. So all 3 of which are, you know, fairly interesting games in their own rights. I've heard really good things about Halo. I know next to nothing about the Halo universe and like the lore and everything, because I never owned an Xbox, I never owned a console outside of like the Nintendo stuff. So I know next to nothing about Halo, so I feel like it'd be kind of interesting to play through Halo. I've heard really good things about Wolfenstein. And Dead Space 3 apparently sucks. So you know, clearly we have 3 very equally loved games here, with, you know, absolutely no like nothing that seems to be the odd ones out here. Okay, to be fair, the Dead Space franchise is very beloved, but except for Dead Space 3. So yeah, so we're stuck between, you know, Halo, which is the Xbox game of all time. We have Halo, we have Wolfenstein, which is one of the most like beloved single player first person shooters of all time. And then we have Dead Space 3, a game in a very well beloved franchise that is also considered to be the worst among the the series. But it is also the game that I'm the most compelled to play. Mostly just because, you know, I played through Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2. Like I wanna see the finale. Like, how else could life for Isaac Clarke, the protagonist of Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2, how could it possibly get worse? He was initially an engineer that was sent to a ship to do engineer work to make sure that everything's okay, and he was excited because his girlfriend was there, so he assumed that maybe he could see his girlfriend again, only to realize that his girlfriend freaking like got taken over by the subconscious of the necromorphs, and essentially becomes his tormentor, but also his only way of being able to see Nicole. So despite Nicole kind of like being a general menace, he also really looks forward to seeing her because it's literally the only way that he can see, like, you know, someone that he cares about, because everything else has been going to crap. Only for him to eventually have to put down the marker to the area where it was initially placed. And then only after having finally escaped the outbreak is he eventually forced into another position with another outbreak, and he has no idea what has been going on over the past like 3 years or whatever the time frame was. All he knows is now he's getting chased by more necromorphs, and that these random people are trying to help him. All the while, there's a unitology cult on the ship, and now he's finally escaped that. So how else could things get worse for him? I could not tell you. This man has to be the unluckiest man alive. How did I end up on a Dead Space rant, by the way? While playing through Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. How did this happen? Very interesting. Okay. I would like to be here, and I'm still not completely sure which Dead Space game I prefer. Probably Dead Space 1, but if you ask me tomorrow, I might change my mind. I will say though, it has been very fun. Oh frick! It has been very fun talking about Dead Space, because there's actually a surprising amount of people like of my IRL friends that have played through Dead Space 1 and 2. And so like now that I've played through the game, I can actually talk with them about it. And like it's very interesting seeing the general like thoughts of other people on those games. Because especially since like I've never really played a lot of the single player games growing up. You know, such as like Dead Space and like Halo, The Last of Us, like stuff like that, because I was always a PC gamer and Nintendo gamer. And like most of the Nintendo games I've played are like Pokemon, and like Pokemon is like a universal experience. Like if you played one Pokemon game, everybody like has, if you played any one Pokemon game, anyone else that has played any other Pokemon game can relate to the experience of playing a Pokemon game. Same with like Mario and Zelda games, but like let's be honest, when you play Mario and Zelda, you don't necessarily, okay, maybe less so Zelda, but when you play a Mario game, you don't play a Mario game for its riveting story of, oh no, Princess Peach got kidnapped again, and now Mario has to go and save her. You know, like, you don't play that for the story. Like Legend of Zelda, yeah, I would say there's more of a story, especially depending on the game. There's more of a story, but I would say overall, like, people don't generally play Legend of Zelda for its riveting story. They play for like the explanation and like the characters, and you know, maybe I'm completely wrong on that though, because the only Zelda game I've played is Spirit Tracks and Twilight Princess. I do want to eventually play Wind Waker though, because I think aesthetically that's my favorite Zelda game. Wind Waker is like pretty dope. But hey, it's another game on my list of games I would like to play through. Except, I don't think I'll be playing any Nintendo games on stream. At least, no. Well, yeah, I don't think I'll be playing any Nintendo game on stream anytime soon. Because the capture card that I'm using to play Nintendo games on stream in the past, it's called a Shadowcast by Genki. It's called Shadowcast by Genki. It has this very weird setting where it requires your access to your camera to be able to work properly. And it's a really major issue because for some reason, whenever you open up Genki, it always, for some reason, turns on the camera and shows, you know, what your camera is showing. In my case, it's my web camera showing my face. So you can see the problem here, right? You can see the minor issue here, and as a VTuber, why I wouldn't want this to happen. So I've been trying to figure out a way to, like, you know, block my camera, but if I take away permission for Genki to use my camera, my capture card just doesn't work anymore. So yeah. It's a small pickle of I cannot play Nintendo games unless I want to give even the slightest chance of it showing my face, just randomly. So that's a problem. Something that I need to, oh frick. What's going on? I have no idea what just happened. I'm just glad that I did not fall all the way back down. Holy crap. What is going on? How does the hammer work? I do not know. It's working somehow. Skill show is one way to put it, yeah. I would not call it a skill show, but as one way of that's a set of words that you could use for that bit. I'm just glad that it ended up not being the worst thing that could ever happen, because you know, we've seen some derpy things happen in this game. Okay, we have yet to pass this area because for some reason these rocks are oddly slippery and I don't like it. So this is gonna be real interesting. Okay. Hop. Okay. Oh. Don't do that, sir. Okay. You can tell I'm trying to be very careful with my movements here. Okay. No, stop. Stop that. I don't like it when you do that. Oh my god. Okay, so slow but like smooth movements are probably the best way to do this, yeah. Okay, again, trust in the stickiness of the hammer. Trust in the stickiness of the hammer. Okay, well, this is now officially the furthest we've been. Why is there a dude's... Oh, this guy's thumb is gonna freaking hurt after this. Wow, I'm literally scraping the skin off this guy's hand. That has to be at least somewhat painful. What the fudge? Stop. No. Bad. Bad. Don't do that. Okay. Huh? Nope. Nope. Stop. Don't do that. I don't like that. This crap is messed up. Nope. 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 I see the difficulty of this part now. Please. Please just land on the edge. Please. Don't be complicated. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That was a bit closer. I'm gonna be really careful not to like push myself off the side. Because that is very much... Oh my god. Oh, that could have been bad. Oh, whoop. 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 What's the whoop? What's the whoop? Okay. Whoop. Okay. No! Oh my god. How I managed to save that, I do not know. Anxiety inducing. Sorry. I mean, I saved myself, which is good. That could have been a lot worse of a fall, I must say. Whoop. Oh, well, and off we go. That's funny. That was a very funny fall. I'll give it that. You know what's really funny? Because I have my stream open on my phone, and because my phone has a slight delay compared to like my actual stream, I got to watch myself fall twice. Incredible. Dude, imagine I fell all the way back down. Now, that would be very funny. The good thing that I don't get frustrated very easily. At least not about falling. Again, the most frustrating thing to me about this game is the control scheme. And like, I'm already over that. Like, I've learned that like this is just the way that it is, and therefore I just have to live with it. So falling just is a consequence of just me screwing up, or because the control scheme is slippery and it sucks. Okay. But yeah, this is this music is too chill. I need something not as chill. I still need somewhat chill music, but this is a little too chill too. I used this a lot in the past. You think Hyper Potions will copyright strike me for using this? Well, let's hope not. I don't think Hyper Potions does that, but oh, that's awkward. I wasn't paying attention. I probably shouldn't have paused while I was in a very precarious position like that. This might be too dubsteppy for me, or too techno for me right now. I don't think I want... Maybe I will swap off this to something else. Yeah, this is too upbeat now. This is too much. We need some depressive vibes, but this is too upbeat and happy. Yeah, this is too upbeat and happy. Why the fudge is this here? I have a lot of interesting songs here. This is too anxiety inducing. Why do I just have a bunch of Nikia music in this? Oh yeah, here's Holy Crab. How is this? I'm not sure. How's this? No. What's this? What the fudge? Can I just go back to, like, what I usually use? Clearly trying to look for new stuff is too difficult. This is too chill. I'm gonna lose my mind if I listen to that for more than 20 minutes. This is also too chill. This is pretty chill, but I think I could work with this. I think this is fine. What am I doing? Wait, you can hop while just dancing with the hammer? Look at it move! It doesn't look like it's like, you know, super obvious movement, so it's probably nothing like too dramatic. But hey, at least I know that apparently you can move around or jiggle around while just using the hammer. It probably matters, yeah, it probably matters a lot if you're like on a precarious position, like, you know, like this. It'll be okay. Oh. Okay. Oh. There you go. Alright. Yeah, good thing I don't feel anxious too easily. Thank goodness I don't get too frustrated or upset when playing games like this. Again, I don't think these games are very fun to play. Jump King, Only Up, and now Getting Over It, these games are not fun. Overall, these games are just not very fun to play. In fact, I would argue that these games are kind of boring. The most interesting things about these games are like the settings that you're climbing in. But overall, these games are pretty freaking boring. Overall. Which is probably... This is definitely like a hot take. Like, I don't think it's a hot take to say that these games aren't fun. But I think it is a hot take to say that these games are boring. Because at the very least, like, you're constantly on edge. Or for most people, you're constantly on edge when you play games like this. But the problem is, I just don't have the right neurons here to understand that I'm supposed to feel a lot of tension. The only reason why I go slow is because it's consistent and it's optimal, not because I'm scared. Well, I guess maybe I am scared, but not like scared of falling, just more about scared of just like failing, I guess. I don't know. But like if I fail, like that's, you know, it happened, it's whatever. It is what it is. We just have to, you know, take care to try and make sure that we don't screw up again. Which is very hard in games like this. Mostly just comes with, you know, improving at the game and getting used to the control scheme. The latter applying a lot more to this game than, you know, the others, because I think the control scheme of Only Up and Jump King are overall like a lot smoother than this. Although I probably shouldn't say that because Only Up is pretty slippery too. But I think it's because I'm so used to playing Only Up that like it doesn't feel slippery anymore. At least like when I beat the game like last week, it didn't feel as slippery. But that might just be me being you know, weird as per usual. How long am I gonna be streaming this today? I don't know. I think in the past I streamed Only Up and Jump King for like 3 to 4 hours at a time. Partly usually for 3 hours. I think 3 hours is the average, mostly just because I got really bored of playing these games very quickly. But I think right now I would like to try and like at least get back to the oranges before I end. Because if I recall, this game does have proper saving of your progress. So I think once I get back to the oranges, we can call it. Oh, I just did some real weird juggling there. Oh. And then it all resulted in that anyways. At the very least, I'm glad I'm trying this game, so I now understand why people struggle so much with it. I thought it was just like something to do with like the texture of like or the grippiness of the hammer, but I see that's not really the issue. The issue is just how slippery this frickin' hammer is. So, you know, now I understand why streamers struggle with this game so much. And I apologize, streamers, for making fun of you in my head, thinking that you guys all just suck at this video game. When in reality, this game is actually pretty freaking difficult. So, my bad. Truly, truly my fault. Ah, frick. Okay. I'm glad we got that over with. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm starting to show a little bit more of my model while playing here. Actually, so much so that chat is kind of covering the top of my head. So previously, the reason why I was only showing like literally my head and nothing else was because I was playing Kingdom Hearts 2, and in Kingdom Hearts 2, the life bar was at the bottom right of the screen. Including like the portrait of Sora. So I just put my face over Sora's portrait and then it became my life bar. It was for, you know, convenience and for like quality of life purposes. I have to wonder if the source of the slipperiness is because of all the water in his pot. Well, I still don't know where all this water is coming from, man. Like, is he urinating in there? Is it just his sweat? Like, it's just because it's just constantly coming out. It makes me very concerned for him. Like, is he butt naked underneath in the pots? I would assume so. Like, it wouldn't make sense, I don't think, to be in a pot filled with water and not be naked. Like, why would you get into a pot full of water and still be wearing your underwear? Like, that's just weird. Unless he was wearing a swimsuit. Maybe he's wearing a swimsuit and he was just like, maybe this is like his bathtub or this is his hot tub or something. I don't know. Hey man, I ain't gonna judge. Hup. 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 Oh yeah, actually, so I should probably mention another reason why I am not... Oh, that's weird. Another reason why I'm not playing Steam World today is because I still haven't uploaded Monday's VOD. Reason for it, past 2 days I've been working a lot, so I haven't had a lot of time to like sit down with my computer and upload something. And also I have to like edit the OS footage out of it anyways. So there's like stuff I still need to do with the VOD. I just finished like putting it together and I just need to upload it. But that crap takes a long time. I don't really want to upload while I'm streaming. So everything with it should be done by tomorrow probably. And the reason why I say tomorrow and not tonight is because I did say I was planning on trying to put together like some short or like content of some sort at least once per day. And I still need to do that. And I kind of use the same like video editing program to do both. So, right, and honestly, my main priority is making sure that the short comes out on time rather than getting the VOD up. Mostly just because the shorts are usually what get a little bit more traction compared to the VOD. The VODs, you know, they get like 1 or 2 views per, maybe more, depending. So, we'll see. At the very least, the only up VOD will be up unless my stream died or crashed at some point, but I don't think it has. So, that's a good thing. The fact that my stream hasn't crashed or my internet didn't go out or something. You're kidding me. So yeah, things are gonna be a little bit weird in terms of uploading for the VODs for like the next couple of days while I try and finish uploading that. This VOD included, but we'll see. Maybe it did crash. I'm just a figment of imagination, a ghost. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, Vaker. When you're out here streaming, you're fighting for every single viewer you can get, and I wouldn't be surprised if I was in so much desperate need. I was so freaking lonely that I just made up a viewer in my mind. I don't even know if Mel is here most of the time. Because technically, it says she's here. If you were to check the users, it says Mel is here. But you have to understand that my phone is not connected to my Cyrus Twitch account. It's connected to Melon's. And the reason why is because Melon's Twitch account is mine initially. She just wanted the Prime sub. So I said you can have it. Or you can use my account to Prime sub to whoever you want. And she was like, bet. Hence why the account that she uses is technically my original Twitch account. Because, believe it or not, my personal Twitch account was not Apricot. It was something else. Something that you guys will never know of. I guess. Or maybe you will. Or maybe you already know and I just, you know, doxed myself at some point. I just, you know, didn't realize that I have. Which has happened in the past. I have doxed myself. Like, for example, I've doxed my original email, or like my personal email, like a few months ago. Relatively recently. It was kind of funny now that I think about it. But, yeah. I will say, though, thus far, I much enjoy playing Jump King over getting over it with Bennett Foddy. Why does it bounce like that? I hate it when the hammer bounces when it lands on something. Why does it do that? I don't like that. It, like, has caused me a lot of falls. Like that. You see that bounce? I do not like that bounce. That bounce frickin' sucks. And I hope it goes and stubs its toe on some Legos. I hope the next time it gets coffee that it's cold. Or unless it likes ice cold coffee. I wish the next time it gets coffee, it's lukewarm. I don't know, what the fudge is like a very petty, like a very small petty insult. I don't freaking know. I'm trying to think. Is stepping on a Lego petty? I've stepped on a Lego before, and like, it's not that painful. People make it out like stepping on a Lego is as painful as getting like shot. But it's not that bad. Or step in dry and withered grasses because those are the way more painful than Lego. Oh, or like get your jacket stuck on like roses or something, you know? Or like, oh, you know, like stepping into like, in like those like thorny weeds. Ooh, that would suck. Actually, no, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. That crap seems annoying and unnecessarily painful. Yeah, perhaps that would be a bit much. Oh, I know a good one. I hope every single time you order a hot chocolate, it's lukewarm. And not like the nice lukewarm, but like the room temperature lukewarm. How the fudge did I just do that? I am not gonna complain. Oh, frick. Oh, frick. Toilet, save me! No, that's just downright nasty. I think that's a pretty good one. What the fudge? Likely ban evader. Interesting. I didn't know that. Huh. Give me a sec. Huh. That's interesting. There's a bot just typed in chat, but it doesn't show up in the public chat because Twitch marked it. Yeah, there's a bot right now in chat. You guys can't see it because... Huh. Cool. Well, get out of here. Sick. I'm glad that some countermeasures that Twitch has been putting in place is working. Yeah, because a bot just showed up in my chat. But, yeah. Alright. Huh. Alright, now we're back at the orange. The orange stool. Come on. Come on. Get on the stool. Alright, the question is, do I end stream here? Like right here, do I just end? And then next time I play this game, we pick up on the stool? Which probably is messed up of me to my future self. Like, next time I open this game, I have to do this jump. First thing I do in this game is I attempt this jump. Or do I try and get to, like, above? Because the chance of me falling is pretty... You know what? I'm down. Let's try. And if I fall, we'll just end. That's funny. Alright, let me get to a nice spot real quick. Let's say, like, the area, like, right after this one. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah. The way the hammer works, man, is so weird. Sometimes it feels super sticky, and sometimes it bounces like it's made out of, like, rubber. This crap is so weird. I'm still trying to figure out, like, the mechanics of how this frickin' thing works. Come on. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I thought it would last a little bit longer, but whatever. We all know that I don't last very long. Ah, frick. A rubber squeaky hammer that looks like a real hammer. Sounds legit. Well, at least I'm getting pretty consistent at this part, which is good. Because before I would get stuck a lot because the I could not get the hammer to work with me. Oh, I guess we're back in this purgatory, huh? I'm okay with streaming a little bit longer. I just don't want to play this game anymore. This game is not very fun, man. It probably doesn't help that I'm not getting a lot of progress, because, you know, progress always helps in keeping your interest in any game. So honestly, it's just a skill diff. It's just a skill issue, honestly. Which I don't really want to admit, so, you know. Oh, well, that could have been real. Oh! I don't even know what sound I just made with my mouth. That's crazy. Alright. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Ah! It's fine. It's fine. We're somehow... Oh, we're actually fine. Huh. Well, I didn't actually expect that to be fine. I'm glad that it is, though. Come on. There you go. Why? Why? Why do I... How's this... How's this working out? I'm literally just madly swinging the hammer around. I'm literally just madly swinging the hammer. Maybe this is the play. Maybe... Okay, maybe not. Maybe I should think a little bit more. Hey, it's not just my noises, it's also this guy's noises. I'm just copying him. Ah! Oh, this is fine. Eh. I like how I say it's not just my noises that I initially follow up with a scream. Very nice. I will say though, me playing this game really has made me realize that my like reactions to stuff has gotten a lot better over the past like 2 years of me streaming. Because when I initially played Jump King, every single time I fell, like I wouldn't say or do anything. Like it would be very dry. Like my reactions whenever I fell in Jump King were very dry. So I'm glad that like now I'm getting a little bit better at expressing my inner thoughts. And even if like, you know, some of them are ever so slightly exaggerated. But I think like in order to improve at streaming and like being a little bit more entertaining, you do have to exaggerate some of the time. I say that, but I personally, or some streamers probably don't have to. If you're like solely a stream of like chill vibes, maybe you don't have to be screaming like all the time. But even like for chill streamers, I think certain screams help. What a thing to say, Cyrus. Truly, truly the streamer and commentator of our time. Someone should really hire me, put me in a VTuber project or group. Honestly, Hololive might as well just... Oh. Well, that's just unfortunate. I don't even know how I didn't even catch that. Truly unfortunate. Like, I didn't even think I was in that much danger in that position. But here we are, I guess. Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. Now that's also unfortunate. Huh. Well, that was strange. Ah. Wait, did he also go ah? Wait, that's so funny. I don't know if you guys heard that. I barely heard that, and well, I guess I don't know how loud I and the music am, but that was very funny, actually. That was very amusing. Oh yeah, I forgot. I want to do the jump from down here. There we go. Okay. Not bad. And then we do a big jump. Alright, cool. I think we'll be able to make our way back up pretty smoothly overall. Well, except for this part. This part is always like the most awkward. The good thing is it's in like a fairly like safe place. And by safe I mean even if you like screw up, there won't be too bad of a repercussion. Unless you screw up here, in which case you'll go all the way back down. But you know, details. Huh. Alright, pretty good. I got pretty decent. That actually, right there, that boosted my confidence a bit, because it means I did improve a little bit at this game. Stop that. Okay. Huh. Come on, extend your hands out. There you go. This is so awkward, man. I don't have the frickin' mouse space for this. I genuinely believe that there's, like, you can skip this section if you just, like, launched yourself here. But I don't know how to get the momentum, but I've seen it, like, happen. Or I've seen myself launch myself, like, super quickly at times. I just don't know how to do it, like, purposefully. Whoop. Alright. I'm done. I think I'm done for today. this game is not very fun. You could call that copium or whatever. I don't care. This is I think this is my least favorite between Only Up and Jump King. You can also maybe crop it up to like this just being the gameplay. You tried at least. Oh, I'm gonna come back. I will return. And I will play this game, you know, in the future. Just, it'll be as occasional as when I played Only Up, which would be like once every like 2 weeks, maybe like once a month. Let's say twice a month, like twice a month maybe. We'll see. But again, there's like I need to get through SteamWorld Heist, so then we can get to something a little bit more exciting for you guys to watch. Because as much as I enjoy playing SteamWorld, and I'm sure as much as you guys love watching me screw up angles and miss shots, it's probably a little more interesting to see me play something a little bit more, like, you know, action-packed. As to what I'll play between Halo, Wolfenstein, and Dead Space 3, I guess we'll see. Maybe I'll put up a poll in the Discord. That's probably not a bad idea, because I honestly don't know which one I'd pick between the three, because I'm interested in all three kind of equally. So maybe I will put up a poll in the Discord as to like, what's my next game that I'll be playing through next? And then you guys can determine my fate. Awesome. All right, I guess I'll check Twitch real quick. Who's streaming? Not many people I know. Is there? How about let's look. Getting over it with Bennett Body. Who else is streaming in this category? Oh, there's 3 other people streaming in this category. Everyone... Oh, I was gonna say, there is a VTuber, but I think this person's fully Japanese. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this person is, yeah, this is just a Japanese VTuber. Studying English is one of their things. Interesting. This probably does not mean we're rating them, by the way. I don't think we are. I'm just gonna open up their stream, but I have a freaking pre-roll ad, so I can't see crap. Don't you love pre-roll ads? Pre-roll ads freaking suck. Only reason why I would consider streaming on YouTube, only reason is because pre-roll ads freaking suck for the viewer experience. But the problem is, everything else on Twitch is so much better for a streamer. Eh? Wait, that's pretty cool. They have a translator. They have a thing at the bottom that tries to translate what they say into English. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, no, that's actually pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna send you guys over to her. But that's still pretty cool. I probably shouldn't be doing this right now. Let's just end my stream. Perhaps a bit prematurely, but I do have some things I need to take care of for, you know, cropping the VOD or updating the VOD from Monday, so that doesn't include... Actually, here's a funny thing. I could technically upload the VOD in entirety because none of it got copyright, which is really cool. I could technically just put everything together and then just like send it. The problem is, because the VOD is so long, it's gonna take so long to upload. Like, so long. I'll probably have to leave it on overnight, and I hate leaving my PC on overnight. It feels so bad. But I might have to do it anyways, which kind of sucks. It kind of sucks, but it is the way it is. So, we'll be back with more Getting Over It, perhaps sometime later. I just realized it's October. I should play Dead Space 3. It is October, so it's spooky month. So I probably should, uh, play something spooky, huh? Hmm. Just something I should probably think about, I guess. If we finish SteamWorld Heist 2 by the end of this month, we'll start up Dead Space 3. I think that's how I'm gonna do it. I think the main reason why I've been putting off Dead Space 3 is because I kind of want to play it with somebody. Because I feel like since you can play Dead Space 3 co-op, I might as well, like, you know, take advantage of that and, like, experience it in full. Plus, it'd just be more enjoyable for me to play it with somebody. But the problem is, I need to find somebody who's willing to play Dead Space 3 with me while I'm streaming. I know people who could play Dead Space 3 with me, but none of them would want to be on stream, I don't think. Because all of them are like... Well, okay, let me rephrase that. Some of them will probably be okay with being on stream, but the problem is, because they're my IRL friends, at some point they'll screw up and call me by my real name, and that's the problem. That's the main problem, is if they were to call me by my real name. So, that's the thing that I'm gonna have to worry about the most, but, you know, it's the way that it is, and I'll have to do it. Practically the same issue with Halo franchise. Pretty much the same thing, honestly, but I'm more keen on playing through the Halo campaign solo rather than with people, at least for the first couple of games, because I want my experience with the game to be as raw as possible, because when you play a game, like, any game can be enjoyable with friends. Even if it's like the worst game in the world, like, it's so much more fun roasting a game with somebody than roasting a game by yourself. So I want to play through at least the first 2 Halo games on my own. Probably Reach as well. I think I'd want to play Halo Reach by myself. Because the only thing I know about Halo Reach is that the very final mission is Mission Survive. And I think it'd be more fun to do Mission Survive by myself. At least for, like, streaming purposes, obviously. But I think for Halo, I do want to play at least the first few games by myself, and then maybe I'll play the rest with other people. Maybe. Again, I'll have to find somebody to play those games with. And, like, yeah, I just need to find the right people. Same thing with Dead Space 3. Although Dead Space 3 technically would be easier, because I just need to find one person. The problem is, out of the VTuber friends that I have that are still either streaming or are still around, none of them play games like Dead Space. Maybe Asu, but I don't think Asu has played Dead Space 1 or Dead Space. Actually, I guess from that perspective, it might be easier to find people more willing to play Halo with me, because most people, I think, are going to be like, oh, I haven't played Dead Space 1 or 2, so I don't really want to play the third one, you know? Because I won't know what's going on, which is completely fair, I get that. Well, for Halo, I'm literally starting from the first game, which is like, you know. And so many people have played Halo at this point, where it's like, I'm sure more people would just be like, oh yeah, I played Halo before, yeah, I'll play Halo with you. But things are just, like, all over the place. I had to figure things out. Maybe I'll make friends. Haha, don't be ridiculous. Anyway. No, I think the main problem with me in terms of, like, trying to do collabs again is I used to have a group that I did collabs with in the past when I first started streaming. I had 2, maybe 3 separate groups of people that I streamed with in the past. And now almost all of them are gone, or they've moved on to do other things. So, like, you know, the VTuber project that I was a part of, LCN, all gone. Nobody is streaming anymore. My old group that I used to do most of my collabs with, pretty much all of them are gone now. There's only one person out of them who still streams, and I haven't talked... We weren't close at all. So I haven't talked to that guy in quite some time. Although he's doing quite well, so I'm very happy for him. Another one of my friend groups who I kind of got introduced by another one of my streamer friends, pretty much gone. I don't think any of those people stream. Maybe one or two still do, but I am not very close to them because they're like friends of friends, and we never really got the chance to properly talk or connect, unfortunately. So, yeah. So I pretty much have to start from scratch, but the VTuber community kind of sucks. uh, Trying to jump into the VTuber community and like just make friends blind is probably the worst thing you could do joining the VTuber community, honestly. Uh it's best if you have like a starting point, like someone that you can trust, and then move from there rather than just like throwing yourself out there and then hoping someone picks you up, because there are some not so great people in the indie VTuber scene. The small indie VTuber scene. Let's just put it like that. Hence why I left the scene for a reason. Even though I have a model and I still technically am a VTuber, I don't really associate with people from there anymore for a variety of reasons. But that's probably like a bit much, a bit too depressing to talk about here. So does it have to be VTuber? No, it doesn't have to, but it's a lot easier to find VTubers that are willing to collab with you than others, because there's a proper community, you know? Like, you could I could probably just open up Twitter, type in, like, and just look down my feed, and then click on, like, any person who's a VTuber, and then DM them about something. And if they're, like, willing enough, chances are they'd be willing to do something with me. If not willing to do something, at least talk, you know? But like most streamers who just stream and aren't a VTuber, they don't use social media, and if they do, it's not like to the point that a VTuber would. It's a very different like culture. VTuber social media culture is very different from the average Joe streamer culture, if that makes sense. So that's why, like, when I say I'd probably collab with somebody, the first thought I go to is a VTuber, because it's just the easiest, you know, it's just the easiest way of doing it, technically, if not, even if it's not the best way. So, but if I wanted to do a collab again, I'd have to find someone I trust, or at least ask someone I trust to see if they know anybody that they could connect me to. And the problem is, I don't think any of them would be willing, if that makes sense, or if any of their friends would be willing to do the games that I'm suggesting, them being Dead Space 3 and Halo, because both of those games are FPS shooters, but the friend groups that I was a part of initially, they weren't into that, except for a few people, but those people are gone. It's a very depressing world I live in right now, because all my friends are dead. Almost everyone, like, if you remember Ren Everfrost, he showed up in my stream, I think on Monday. Was it Monday? Yeah, it was Monday. It was for us, right? Yeah, he was there briefly, and he banned a bot that showed up. Yeah, no, he showed up for a brief period of time. He was actually, you know, one of my old friends who we used to stream together and do stuff together, but he stopped streaming due to, you know, he just lost interest in it, which is totally fair. Streaming is definitely absolutely not for everybody, which kind of sucks, because I really liked his streams, but it is the way that it is. I enjoyed watching his stuff, and occasionally he stops by like once every 6 months or so. But yeah, all my friends are dead, and now I'm just a solo streamer, which is how it has been for a very long time anyway, so it doesn't bother me too much. It's just like times like this where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play Halo. Like, you know, a lot of people have told me about Halo and how it's such a good franchise. Oh, I wish I could play it with somebody, you know? Most of the games I play are like solo anyway, so it didn't matter. But now that I'm actually playing a game that I could play co-op, and like I have the option to, but like I can't. That's like the sad thing. And here's the worst part of it. Technically, I could find somebody to play Halo with if I just didn't stream it. That's the worst part about it. I could find somebody to play Halo with if I just didn't stream it. Because I know people who would be more than willing to play Halo with me, but I just want to stream it. Partly because I want to grow my community more and just be more active in general. And playing Halo, like Halo just seems like a good game to stream overall, you know? Just seems like a good game to stream. I just have to do it solo, which is, you know, it's a little sad, and I would prefer to play co-op. But then I did say that for at least Halo 1 and Halo 2, I want to play solo because I get more of the raw experience of playing Halo. I'm actually pretty excited, all things considered, to be playing Halo at some point. So, but knowing me, at some point down the line, there's gonna be a game that releases, or there's gonna be a game that goes on sale that I'm immediately just gonna be like, I have to buy it. I have to play it. I have to. Like, I don't have a choice. I have to do it. I really need to. So I'll just end up change up plans again. But remember, I do have a big list of games. So at the very least, on the bright side, we're not running out of games anytime soon. I had that issue back in like 2023, at the beginning of 2023, where I just ran out of games to play. And so I was just scraping the bottom of the barrel. I was like going through my Steam library, trying to look for bullcrap that I could play. So honestly, it's a good problem to have so many games, so many options to play. And if I could pull off like longer streams, like 4 to 5 to 6 hour streams, it would probably be a little bit easier, to be completely honest with you. I feel like it'd be a lot easier, but or at least it'd be easier to get through games because I'd be spending more time on them. But yeah, that's my ramble over. You know what? The good thing about this stream is I talked about so much random bullcrap. It's gonna be really interesting going through this VOD. Because I've been going through my VODs again to like look for shorts and stuff, or like parts that I can clip. And this is gonna be a very interesting VOD to go through because of all the random bullcrap I've talked about. So hopefully I can find. I mean, hopefully there's something I can. Hopefully there's something interesting that I talked about within a 60-second period that I can clip. Because I've actually been struggling to find that kind of stuff, because a lot of the time when I do something, like when I make a joke or tell a story, it's always longer than 60 seconds, always. I yap for so long and I go on so many freaking tangents that I can't properly make TikToks or shorts. Like, ugh. Come on, man. Come on, me. I gotta talk faster and stop going on so many tangents. But that's like the whole point of me going on like rants and start yapping, is that I go on random tangents and talk about stuff and drag things out because I'm a freaking idiot. Alright. Let's end off that. I was gonna end like 20 minutes ago, but then I had to talk about other stuff. But yeah, we will end off of that. So, short full of sigh noises. That'll take a long time to edit. I guess I'm not against it, but you have to remember that I have to do a lot of that anyways. Also, I don't know if I could survive literally just clipping like 1 to 2 second sound bits of me like yelping. But yeah, well, I'm off that. So, thank you guys for watching. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time it may be for you. If you haven't, please get up, stretch, get a drink of water. And if it's late for you, please go to bed and take care of yourselves. I'll be streaming in probably tomorrow. Honestly, probably tomorrow morning. I think I'll be streaming the next like 12 hours. Because I think I figured out my stream schedule, but it's gonna be really funny because I'm literally just gonna stream now and then like I'm gonna end stream. I'm probably gonna like go grab some water, finish editing some stuff, like putting stuff together, go to sleep, wake up, and I'm just gonna open stream again. Which is very funny, the way that this works, but it's like the best way that my schedule allows me to stream. So, you know, This is kind of interesting. So, yeah, I will see you guys next time. Sorry, give me a second. I have to. My Streamlabs is freezing up and I can't swap my scene. Ain't this a real tragic way where I would save my entire bit of me ending my stream and now I can't even end my stream? Fantastic. Incredible, honestly. Like, things just don't get better than this. Alright, there you go. Now it's unfrozen. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Boop.